Chapter 958. Right, I was toying with you. But you were toying with me too. Luo Feng looked at the huge being before him, raging and snorting coldly. Human, how did I toy with you? Everything went according to what we said. I'll first verify it. Don't tell me I toyed with you? Sirius roared. Sirius, do you really think I'm that stupid? I haven't even gotten the Beast God Inheritance token, and I'm letting you connect to the virtual universe? If I really did that, then I'd be the dumbest. Luo Feng sneered. The Beast God Inheritance token is still with you. I'll give you an anonymous account in the virtual universe and let you connect to the virtual universe. Humph. I'm afraid your verification is just to send a message back to the Demon Clan. Sirius was slightly stunned. What a smart move, doing a public mission in a virtual game. This virtual game has countless players. Luo Feng sneered. Countless players know about this. I'm afraid there are spies from your Demon Clan. Hee hee, your moves are powerful. Even the virtual universe system can't determine which of the countless players are the spies. Humph, Sirius snorted coldly. Using such a move, you can easily send the message back. Luo Feng seemed to smile as he looked at the huge mountain like Sirius. Sirius, when that time comes, this sensor of mine will be useless to you. Your goal will be achieved, and the Beast God Inheritance token is still with you. You say you'll give it to me? I'll do what I say, Sirius said solemnly. Bullshit, Luo Feng sneered. Trusting the guarantee of a foreign enemy. That's the biggest joke. Sirius was stunned, hesitating for a moment. Sirius, tell me, how can I trust you? Luo Feng looked at him. Sirius looked at the human before him. One of the royal demon clan Sirius was naturally cruel and cunning, and he was one of the best, extremely good at disguising himself. Even after being locked in the ice prison for countless years, he had always played the role of a benevolent person, only occasionally revealing his true nature. He was indeed using the Beast God Inheritance token to lure the human. The verification was indeed to send the message. As long as there was a response, it meant the message had been sent out. Even if the human were to close it, wouldn't matter. When that happened, he naturally wouldn't have to give the human the Beast God Inheritance token. What do you think we should do? Sirius asked in a low voice. Since we've already shed all pretense of cordiality, let's not play any tricks. Luo Feng looked at Skywolf. One sentence. Give me the Beast God Inheritance token. I'll give you another censor. No, Sirius roared. I gave you the Beast God's Inheritance token. What if you escape? Haha, the leader of the Southern Ice Hell. You're afraid I'll escape? Luo Feng looked at him. Your escaping ability, who doesn't know of it in ice prison? Sirius's green eyes stared at Luo Feng. My escaping abilities are impressive, but you, Skywolf, are also invincible Regis Godfiends. Luo Feng slightly shook his head. If you don't agree, then I have no other choice. Or you can suggest a way that I can trust. Sirius hesitated for a long time. He didn't expect it. He couldn't think of any other way to gain the trust of this cunning and cautious human. If you don't make a decision, then I'm leaving. Luo Feng shook his head and laughed. One Beast God Inheritance token. If you can never leave the ice prison, what use is it? Wait a minute. Sirius stared at Luo Feng, hesitating. Good. I'll give you the Beast God's Inheritance token. Sirius roared. You have to activate the authority of the virtual universe. If it's still fake, Sirius swear, I'll use all my strength and put a bounty on the ice prison, letting all the warriors in the ice prison search for you, chasing you endlessly throughout the entire ice prison. Relax. Luo Feng smiled. I believe in the human's reputation. Believing in a foreign enemy, that's foolish. Sirius roared softly. The Beast God's Inheritance token in his claw flew straight towards Luo Feng. So you know about it too. Luo Feng extended his hand to receive it. The hexagonal tablet was heavy. Holding in his hand, it felt extraordinary. He couldn't help but feel excited within, thinking, I've acquired the Beast God's Inheritance token. With it, I can exchange it for another inheritance token within the clan. Ancestral God Sex Special Inheritance? That's even higher than the Demon Note Inheritance. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a huge gain. The authority has been activated. Luo Feng looked at Sirius. Good. Sirius turned his head, gazing at the little female servant. Go verify it again. Yes, master. The female servant replied respectfully, following which her consciousness connected to the virtual universe. Luo Feng watched silently. His consciousness, too, connected to the virtual universe. Virtual universe, Thunder Island's highest point, primal chaos city leader's palace. Ever since he had checked the ancestral god sect and the beast god's inheritance tokens information, even before Sirius had discovered anything, Luo Feng had already come to pay his respects to the primal chaos city leader. Within the palace, chaos energy emanated. Teacher, Luo Feng said respectfully. Looking for me so urgently, what's the matter? The primal chaos city leader's voice resounded from within the energy. Regarding the beast god's inheritance token, Luo Feng said. A golden-robed silhouette walked out of the energy. The primal chaos city leader walked over and looked at Luo Feng. That calm like the endless starry sky eyes had a sense of shock towards this disciple of Luo Feng. Even though he wasn't happy with Luo Feng splitting his attention earlier, he had to admit, Luo Feng's luck wasn't normal. Before in the outer region battlefield, Luo Feng used the identity of Blade River Emperor to battle Black Razor Emperor. This news had long spread. The primal chaos city leader was so concerned about this disciple. How could he not know? Back then, even though Luo Feng had retired and closed the virtual universe synchronized teleportation, there were many human warriors around, hence there were many recordings. After the primal chaos city leader watched, he was first shocked that Luo Feng actually used his sector lord body to battle Black Razor Emperor, following which he confirmed, those black ball-like objects should belong to a set of treasures. Just like how treasures had differences in quality, treasures too had differences in quality. From their functions, one could tell which was higher and which was higher. Offensive treasures usually weren't as valuable as defensive treasures, and defensive treasures weren't as valuable as ceiling treasures. And in terms of power, there are differences too, and amongst the many treasures, the set treasure's power was definitely at the top. Just like the 7-Blade Emperor's set of 7 blades, that was a set treasure. Earlier in the outer region battlefield, this disciple of mine had already acquired a set of defensive treasures. How did he get the Beast God Inheritance token in the blink of an eye? The Primal Chaos City leader was shocked. The Beast God Inheritance token was definitely comparable to a set of treasures in terms of value. That was the highest inheritance of the ancestral god sect. Please allow me to describe it in detail. Luo Feng said. Speak in detail. The Primal Chaos City leader said. Yes, this disciple is heading to the Wuhua secret region. Luo Feng began to describe, only hiding the fact that his true goal was to find the black metal board. The rest was more or less the same. Being imprisoned in the ice prison, I'm not panicking after all my core is outside. Only my earth body is imprisoned. I'll treat it as my training ground. Even though the 5 tycoons in the ice prison are all very powerful, to the point where they can be considered invincible emperor level. However, I still have a certain level of confidence. Because these 5 tycoons have very few treasures. Even defensive treasures are rare. Luo Feng said, I'm planning to train myself there, especially when I finish the 3rd chapter of the 7 Changes of the God. When that time comes, I'll be able to unleash the 2nd form of the Wu Killer Wings and cause space turbulence. With the 2nd form's power, even a Universe Knight won't be able to easily seal me, much less the 5 Tycoon seals, time stopping, etc. My speed is invincible. I'm completely invincible. And my current strength is very close to the 5 Tycoons, not much different. When I train to the 3rd chapter, my strength will improve again. I'm confident I can suppress and heavily injure them. Back then I bought many treasures. As long as I can defeat and control an Emperor Invincible, I'll give the purple clock to that Invincible. With the defensive treasures and an Emperor's servant, I'm confident I can take care of them one by one. Luo Feng said respectfully. That's my original plan. I'll train there for 10,000 years, fighting them one by one. Luo Feng said. The Primal Chaos City leader nodded as he heard. This Luo Feng was indeed filled with fighting spirit. Just a Sector Lord body, and he actually had the confidence to fight an Emperor invincible. Even though those 5 could only be considered fake. After all, they had too few treasures. Without enough treasures, they couldn't even compare to Truyan Emperor and the others. But I've discovered the Beast God Inheritance Token, Luo Feng said respectfully, after which he explained everything with Skywolf. If Skywolf enters, then I'll safely acquire the token. If he sees through it, then I'll have to think of a way to acquire it first. Luo Feng said respectfully, looking at the Beast God Inheritance Token. Your disciple can no longer endure staying in the ice prison for over 10,000 years. Your disciple wants to leave. I want to go to the inheritance grounds. I want to make myself stronger. And if I don't stay for 10,000 years, just by relying on me, I won't be able to leave. Hence, I'll have to rely on Teacher. Luo Feng said respectfully. Teacher, once I get the token, I'll have to give a censor to Skywolf. Luo Feng said, the first plan is for me to get the token and flee. With my survival abilities, Skywolf won't be able to do anything to me. I'll just wait for Teacher to bring me out. The second plan is for him to connect to the virtual universe, allowing him to send messages. When the demon warriors descend, Teacher will appear too. These 2 plans, please guide me. Luo Feng said respectfully. If Teacher thinks neither is suitable, I can patiently stay there for 10,000 years. Luo Feng said. The Primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng, after which he laughed heartily. Haha, look at you. You're already thinking about the inheritance grounds. How would you have the patience to stay there? HM, you can let Skywolf send a message. With his position, even though he's Invincible Emperor now, back then he was still very weak. The demon race wouldn't completely believe his words. To be able to invite a Universe Lord-level warrior is already not bad. If they were to send a Universe Lord, that would be even more unbelievable. No matter, even if it's a Universe Lord, I can still suppress it. You should first get the Beast God Inheritance Token. In case the demon race sends a Universe Lord protects Skywolf, it'll be hard for me to steal the token. The Primal Chaos City leader ordered. This token is considered a treasure too. My clone has nothing to do in the Primal Universe too. For a treasure like this, I'll have to go on a killing spree. It's worth it to just move out and get a token. Yes, Luo Feng said respectfully. HM, the Primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng, his heart filled with anticipation. He felt that this disciple's opportunities were indeed exceptional. Such opportunities to stay in one place for 10,000 years was indeed a pity. If he let Luo Feng go to the inheritance grounds, who knows, he might even have some opportunities. After all, ever since he became his disciple, no matter where Luo Feng went, he always surprised him. Only this disciple's insistence on being a spirit reader and fighter at the same time gave him a headache. Chapter 9:59. Ice Prison, Skywolf's Palace. Skywolf was anxious, worried, and looking expectantly at his female servant. That female servant was currently connecting to the virtual universe to verify. Countless eras have been trapped here. Whether or not we can get out will depend on this. Sirius' glossy green eyes couldn't help but burst forth with an ominous glint. This was its true nature. I must make contact, I must. Time passed minute by minute, but Sirius felt that every second felt like a year. The female servant opened her eyes. Done. Skywolf roared softly. Master, there's a reply. The female servant replied respectfully. There's a reply? Skywolf's huge god body trembled slightly. The blood in his body began to boil. Over the long years, he had never been so excited before. Good. Skywolf couldn't help but raise his head and howl. The howl resounded from within the palace. Luo Feng watched from his side. Skywolf, Luo Feng said. Human, you really keep to your words. Skywolf gazed at Luo Feng. The reply naturally meant that once the news was confirmed, it would be sent to his teacher. Knowing that he was about to leave, how could he not be excited? The Skywolf before was calm like an ice mountain, but now he was filled with fighting spirit, almost like a volcano about to erupt. Then I'll leave first. Luo Feng smiled. Skywolf laughed. Then I won't send you off. There was a rumbling sound as the palace doors opened. Luo Feng glanced at it, and with a flap of his wings, He became a beam of light and vanished. Congratulations, Master. Congratulations, Master. Congratulations, Master. The servants within the palace all immediately celebrated. Sky Wolf, however, communicated mentally. No need to speak in detail. Even though that green nightmare Knight can't always pay attention to everything within the ice prison, it would still be troublesome if he finds out. Before we leave, don't cause any trouble. We'll just wait quietly. I believe in 1 or 2 days, we'll be able to leave. Sky Wolf raised his head and looked through the palace doors at the endless ice world outside. He thought within, "Human, I don't want to cause any trouble. I'll leave this inheritance token with you for now. When the super existences of the demon race descend, the beast god's token of inheritance will still be mine to offer to the demon race." Ha ha! Sirius couldn't help but let out a burst of laughter. However, this time, he deliberately controlled his laughter so that it only echoed in the hall. Not long after Luo Feng flew out of the palace, Extreme Rainbow Emperor appeared beside him and teleported far away, in the depths of the snowy land of the Eastern Ice Prison, within Luo Feng's nest. The beast god's token of inheritance is in my hands. Luo Feng was overjoyed within. I didn't expect the ancestral god sect to be so strong. The positions of the 8 great beast gods, right? The golden pool that the 7 sword emperors took out back then had beast god carvings on it. Luo Feng's mind suddenly replayed the scene of the Life Destruction King leading his subordinates to ambush the 7 sword kings when the Sealing Star had appeared. The 7 sword kings had taken out a special golden pool. That should be related to the ancestor god cult. It seems like the 7 sword kings have also obtained a special inheritance. Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. I too shall go take a look at the highest level of the ancestral god sect's beast god inheritance grounds to see what it's like. Serious. I'll have to thank you this time. Luo Feng looked up and smiled. I wonder which demon race, being serious, can invite out, whether or not he can compare my teacher, the primal chaos city leader. The demon race had indeed set up many information networks within the human virtual universe. However, normal demon undyings didn't have a right to use them. Even the demon emperor undyings and the other elites of the race were forbidden from using them under normal circumstances. Only during special situations and important moments could they occasionally use them, because every time they used the network, it was very dangerous. Even if they were already very cautious and used many methods, the virtual universe system surveillance was everywhere. Even the slightest clue would be noticed. Hence, every time they used the virtual universe, there was always the possibility of exposing a certain information network. The price was extremely high. Ciboa is actually still alive. Demon territory, on an incredibly flourishing planet, lived countless young demon race. However, on the planet where the countless young demon race lived, there lived a powerful universe knight from the royal demon race, the Sky Wolf race. Ciboa is my 3rd disciple. He's the disciple I took in when I just became a knight. I've lost contact with him for who knows how long. He's actually still alive. A 2M long. Its entire body covered in green feathers seemed to be very happy in the quiet palace. It let out a low growl. And he's even trained to the invincible emperor level. Ha ha ha. Trapped in a place like the ice prison, without any resources or guidance from a teacher, he's actually still able to train to the invincible emperor level. Haha. Back then, I thought Ciboa was the one with the highest chance of becoming a knight in my Sky Wolf race. Looks like my guess was right. If he could get resources and guidance from his race, he would have long become a knight. This seemingly normal-looking Sky Wolf's 4 hooves paced back and forth. Suddenly a voice resounded. Teacher, you've come out? In the main hall of the majestic palace, a heavenly wolf that was over 10 kilometers long slowly appeared. Then it rapidly shrunk to 2 meters long. This undying heavenly wolf was the other disciple of this universe sovereign and also the master of this entire planet. I still have matters to attend to. The green sky wolf growled before disappearing. I'll be back in a few days. Yes, teacher. Deep within the demon territory, In the endless starry sky, a palace floated, surrounded by flames. Balls of black, white, purple, red, green, blue, all sorts of flames, each as large as a star, revolved around the palace. If one was further away, they wouldn't even be able to see this. Clearly, the space-time around the palace was already distorted, forming its own space-time. This floating palace was also shaped like a solidified flame. The palace was silent and deathly still. In the huge square in front of the palace, a hazy shadow appeared out of thin air and then condensed into a green wolf that was more than 10 kilometers long. Leader. The green sky wolf respectfully prostrated. Within this solidified flame palace, the eye-like sculpture suddenly blinked, and the entire palace let out a rumbling sound. Speak. Leader, I just received news from my disciple. This disciple of mine was a disciple I accepted when I had just become a universe knight. I had high hopes for him, but not long after he became my disciple, he disappeared. The green sky wolf respectfully said. His name is Boa. The rumbling voice said. I know him. A long, long time ago, his name was on the list of people who could be revived by reversing space-time. I tried reversing space-time to revive him, but I failed. I was unable to revive him. Back then, I thought that he was being controlled by another expert, but it turns out that he was still alive. Boa had disappeared. Although his strength back then wasn't as heaven-defying as it was now, as a newly advanced genius of the Sky Wolf race, he had the qualifications to be revived by the race by reversing space-time. Unfortunately, the revival had failed, and he was naturally forgotten. I've received news of him. The green sky wolf respectfully prostrated. He is currently in the Wu Hua Secret Realm's ice prison. He has been trapped there for countless years. The Purple Sea Pirates and Blue Nightmare Pirates ice prison? The rumbling voice said. Yes, leader. The green sky wolf respectfully prostrated. He has been imprisoned in the ice prison without any resources or expert to guide him. Now, he is cultivated to the level of an invincible sealed emperor. Invincible sealed emperor. The rumbling voice was slightly surprised. He doesn't dare to lie. The green sky wolf said. Leader, I want to save my disciple, but facing Sir Blue Nightmare Pirates and Sir Purple Sea Pirates, especially Sir Purple Sea Pirates, he's one of the 72 god generals of the Ancestor God sect. I don't have the slightest confidence in bringing my disciple back. Therefore, I wish to invite Sir Tianhua. However, I'm afraid that Sir Tianhua won't give me face. Therefore, I hope that leader can speak to him. Sir Tianhua was ranked second in the Sky Wolf race. He was extremely powerful. Although he was at the peak of the universe supremacy level, he had the combat power of an ordinary universe lord. He was definitely a universe overlord. The number one expert in the Sky Wolf race was the Sky Wolf Lord. He was also the owner of this palace. If Tianhua were to appear with the deterrence of our demon race, Sir Blue Nightmare Pirates and Sir Purple Sea Pirates would definitely not dare to not give us face. The Green Sky Wolf said, Tianhua is currently in danger. I have no way of contacting him. I don't know when he will return after leaving the Origin universe. A rumbling voice came from within the palace. Since it's an invincible sealed emperor of my Sky Wolf race, I'll go personally. Leader, you'll go personally. The Green Sky Wolf hurriedly prostrated in gratitude. If Spoa knew, he would definitely be excited, grateful, and honored. I haven't seen Sir Purple Sea Pirates in a long time. Suddenly, around the floating palace, balls of flames the size of stars began to rapidly fly towards the palace. Every ball of flame rapidly shrunk as it approached the palace, turning into tiny flames that rapidly merged with the solidified flame sculptures within the palace. The moment they merged, the entire palace's aura began to grow stronger. In just a short while, the countless flames surrounding the palace all disappeared. Instead, the solidified flame sculptures within the palace began to faintly emit flames. This is a supreme treasure. Seeing this, the Green Sky Wolf was secretly envious. This palace, this was the greatest supreme treasure of the entire Sky Wolf race. the Sky Wolf Palace. It was a supreme treasure that the Sky Wolf Lord had obtained not long after the universe was born. I'm going. The entire palace disappeared into thin air. Only the green Sky Wolf was left floating in the starry sky. His green eyes were filled with joy. Leader, you'll definitely be able to bring Spoa back. P.S. Here's the second chapter. Continue writing the third chapter. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 960. Wuhua's Secret Region. Ice Prison Starbelt. A towering palace shrouded in faint flames appeared out of thin air. The moment the palace appeared, it seemed to have become the core of the entire Ice Prison Stellar Belt. An incomparably powerful and brutal pressure enveloped the entire Ice Prison Stellar Belt, causing those bandits who were having fun on the Ice Prison planet and in the Stellar Belt River to shiver in fear. Sky Wolf Master, why are you suppressing the little fellows? A purple and green beam of light streaked across the sky and arrived before this floating palace. My arrival, they naturally have to bow down to me. A rumbling voice resounded from within the palace. A silhouette wrapped in flames slowly walked out, like the incarnation of the laws of the universe. His entire body was covered in flames. His entire body was pitch black like ink as he walked slowly. The surrounding space was completely suppressed by him. At this moment, the owner of the entire space in the Ice Prison Star Belt was him. Even Qing Shoko Sir and Zi Shoko Sir had to show respect. He was the noblest being from the Sky Wolf race, one of the royal races of the monster race. Sky Wolf Master, my Sky Wolf race has a tribesman imprisoned in your ice prison. Sky Wolf Master's voice rumbled, causing the entire space to tremble. Let him out. Qing Shoko Sir and Zi Shoko Sir glanced at each other. The monster race had so many people, yet they had only imprisoned one undying. Yet, the Sky Wolf Master had appeared. Sky Wolf Master, please wait a moment. After which, he waved his hand, and a cylindrical ice pillar appeared in his palm. Since he had discovered the arrival of the Sky Wolf Sovereign, he naturally brought his own treasure with him. The ice prison was a suppression-type treasure and was extremely precious. Not only that, it was also very compatible with the talent of Paragon King Wenku. In his hands, the might of the ice prison was truly boundless. Out! Supremacy Qing Fu Ko's will enter the ice prison and locked on his Sirius, easily kicking him out of the ice prison. The snow-white Sirius tumbled in the starry sky for a while before stabilizing himself. Then, he looked around, and his green eyes were filled with ecstasy. When he saw the purple and green figures in the distance, he saw the palace bathed in flames, and the majestic black Sirius that was filled with endless pressure. He couldn't help but think of the legends of the Sirius clan, and he immediately revealed a look of disbelief. Leader, Sibua hurriedly prostrated himself, extremely excited. The legendary leader of the Heavenly Wolf clan, the eternal leader, Zi Shueko. How strong is this member of my Heavenly Wolf tribe? The black Heavenly Wolf, surrounded in flames, looked at Zi Shueko. Even though venerable Zi Shueko had a grudge against Master Tian Lang, he had no choice but to endure it. After all, Master Tian Lang wasn't a cosmic lord without a powerful treasure. Master Tian Lang, this little guy is quite strong. He's ranked top 5 in the ice prison. If he has a few more suitable treasures, he can rival other titled monarchs. You knew that he was a member of my Heavenly Wolf clan, someone with such talent, yet you still imprisoned him? The Heavenly Wolf Lord's voice rumbled. He was imprisoned in my ice prison. Green Furiko's face was filled with anger. Lord Celestial Wolf looked at Supremacy Qing Fu Ko. Boom. An invisible shockwave swept across Qing Yinko, causing him to fly backward like a meteor. Half of his divine body was shattered, and then he reformed. Who allowed you to speak? Lord Celestial Wolf's voice contained a hint of anger. A cold glint flashed across his eyes, causing Zi Shueko's heart to palpitate. Lord Celestial Wolf. Zi Shueko shouted. Don't worry, because of you, I won't truly harm him. Lord Celestial Wolf's anger dissipated. It's just a small punishment. Green Furry Co. flew back to Z Shueiko's side. He was clearly filled with anger, yet he could only endure it. Z Shueiko smiled. Lord Celestial Wolf, we've released your clansmen. The matter is over. If Lord Celestial Wolf wishes to reminisce, we can go to the ice prison planet. I can also invite a few friends to accompany you. No need. Lord Celestial Wolf glanced at Z Shueiko, then at Spoa. Spoa respectfully prostrated and transmitted his voice. Leader, there's a human in the ice prison. He has the beast god token of inheritance. He didn't dare to say that he was the one who gave the token to the human. He didn't want to incur the wrath of this great existence that he had only heard of in the past. The beast god token of inheritance? Lord Celestial Wolf immediately looked at Z Shueiko. Your ice prison has another human imprisoned. Release him as well. I'll take him away. Lord Celestial Wolf said. Being able to obtain a beast god token of inheritance with just one sentence was worth it. After all, the token was a restricted resource even for a clan. It was extremely rare. A human? Z Shueiko and Qing Furry co-glanced at each other. Not good. They were in big trouble. There's no human. Z Shueiko shook his head. You dare say there's no human? Lord Celestial Wolf's voice exploded, causing the surrounding space-time to tremble and distort like the ocean. Did you forget that my clansmen just came out? Of course, I know there's a human inside. No. Z Shueiko shook his head. Z Haikao and Qing Yinko did not dare to casually hand over the human. They had already contacted the mountain guest and confirmed that the human was the one that the mountain guest wanted to train and train. What kind of existence was Mountain Guest? How could Lord Celestial Wolf compare to Mountain Guest? If they offended Mountain Guest, they could still live. If they offended Mountain Guest, even the ancestral god sect wouldn't be able to protect them. There's no human. Qing Furry Co. also shook his head. That little guy must have remembered wrongly. There was a human in the past, but that human died a long time ago. The Celestial Wolf Master was surprised that Z Biku and Qing Biku refused to release the human. Beside him, Celestial Wolf Spoa was also looking at the Celestial Wolf Master, waiting for signal. If the Celestial Wolf Master gave up, he would obediently say, "The human might be dead. I haven't seen him for an era." If the Celestial Wolf Master insisted on taking the human away, he would say, "I saw him just now." Interesting, interesting. Lord Celestial Wolf's voice boomed. Who is this human? Looks like he has quite a background. Lord Celestial Wolf stood in front of the majestic palace and looked down at the two venerables. Could it be that a supreme existence of the human race made an agreement with you two, so you two would rather disobey me? Ha! Of course. I'll ruin the human race's plans. Hand over the human. Lord Celestial Wolf's eyes flashed with a ferocious glint. Otherwise, I'll have no choice but to take him. Leader, they're lying. I saw that human just before I came out. Sibua hastily shouted. Did you hear that? Lord Celestial Wolf looked down at the two venerables. Lord Celestial Wolf, Z Shueiko angrily said, are you going to fight us for a human? I advise you to give up on that human. Qing Furry Co. also angrily said, Lord Celestial Wolf. The two of them had already secretly notified Mountain Guest. Mountain Guest's methods were unfathomable, so he naturally received the news quickly. However, Mountain Guest's response was very strange. Release the human youth. Do what you need to do. You don't need to worry about anything else. Don't expose my relationship with this human. Hand over the human. Lord Celestial Wolf's voice rumbled. No matter how powerful his background is, even if he's a disciple favored by the creator of the huge axe, as long as he's a human, the demon race naturally has nothing to fear. Z Shueiko and Qing Furry Co. exchanged glances. Even though they were curious as to why Mountain Guest didn't want them to worry about him, or even expose his relationship with the human, as long as the two of them mentioned Mountain Guest's name, Lord Celestial Wolf would definitely leave with his tail between his legs. Since Mountain Guest has already said so, why should we resist? The two venerables exchanged glances. All right, Z Shueiko nodded. We'll release him. Eastern Ice Prison, deep within the snowy lands. Luo Feng sat within the hall, silently waiting. He estimated that in 1 or 2 days, the Primal Chaos City's leader would bring him away. Rumble. Suddenly, the entire ice prison's suppressive energy pressed down on him. Simultaneously, a spatial crack appeared in front of him, and he was squeezed out without any resistance. The scenery changed. Luo Feng's divine body rolled a little, and with a flap of his wings, he floated in space. It should be teacher, Luo Feng guessed. At the same time, he looked around and was stunned. In the distance stood two silhouettes. It was Qing Furiko and Zi Shueko respectively. In another direction floated a majestic palace bathed in flames. The formless pressure it emitted was simply terrifying. It far exceeded the heaven erosion palace Luo Feng had seen before. And that black skywolf that seemed to be the master of the surrounding space made Luo Feng's heart tremble. Beside the black skywolf was a respectful, snow-white skywolf. It's Skywolf, Luo Feng thought. Human. Skywolf Si Bua gazed at Luo Feng. He was filled with pride. Look at you, you're still proud. The beast god inheritance token is only temporarily with you. Once the leader arrives, not only will the token have to be given to me, even your life will be gone. Skywolf's leader gazed at Luo Feng. Your background doesn't seem to be normal. Skywolf's leader's voice rumbled. It's a pity that you have to die, and the human race can forget about reviving you. Luo Feng's expression changed. Where's teacher? Why isn't he here yet? He should have arrived long ago. Die. Skywolf's cold and disdainful voice resounded. Chong, Dong, Hu, Ja. All sorts of sounds suddenly resounded. The sounds were very soft, but they resounded within the hearts of all the warriors present. Just like on the Ice Hell planet, the bandit warriors within the Star Belt River, who were being pressured by the pressure, all had these faint sounds within their hearts. Luo Feng and Skywolf Si Bua heard it too. The other two knights heard it too. Even the Skywolf leader heard it. Within the vast Ice Hell Star Belt, a vast and indistinct space river appeared in midair. The width of the river covered the entire Ice Hell Star Belt. It was at least a few light years wide and seemingly endless, almost as though it reached the end of space. In this blurry river, there were all kinds of strange objects floating, each of them exuding a terrifying pressure. Thousand Treasure River. Purple Sea Knight was shocked. It's Thousand Treasure River. Green Sea Knight's eyes revealed a look of schadenfreude as he looked at Skywolf Leader. Skywolf Leader's eyes revealed a look of shock and rage. Standing in front of Skywolf Palace, he roared, Primal Chaos City Leader. Since you're here, show yourself. The flames around his body fiercely erupted and surged towards the surrounding space. However, the space river suddenly emitted an immense pressure, extinguishing all the flames. Skywolf Palace was like a small boat, rocking in the wide river, as though it could capsize at any moment. P.S. 3 chapters completed. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 9:61. The group of weak bandit and the weaker ones present, Luo Feng and Si Bua, all stared wide-eyed at this scene. That Thousand Treasure River was just a river. Its projection shrouded the endless space. Hence it seemed blurry and blurry. However, its overwhelming power was something even the Sky Wolf Palace could barely defend against. This is my first time seeing it. It's indeed powerful and unstoppable. Qing Fuko Knight exclaimed softly. Legend has it that the Thousand Treasure River is formed from over 1,000 treasures. If it's broken down, that's over 1,000 treasures. Broken down? Such a treasure. Who would bear to break it down? This Thousand Treasure River's birth. The many treasures it contains are meant to complement each other. If it's broken down and left alone, these treasures all have flaws. They'll probably only have the power of an absolute treasure. Only when they're gathered together to form a 1,000 Treasure River would it be an absolute treasure that can dominate the universe. Purple Fuko Knight sighed. You haven't seen the scene of the Primal Chaos City Leaders Massacre. The one using the river is just one of his clones. His main body is even stronger than this. I've heard of it too. Ching Fu Ko Knight nodded. The primal chaos city leader. One clone oversees the primal universe. He's unrivaled. One remains in the actual universe, overseeing the virtual universe company. The strongest body is the main killer. Luo Feng naturally couldn't hear the conversation between Ching Fu Ko Knight and Purple Fu Ko Knight. Teacher is truly powerful. Just one clone, and it's already so powerful. Luo Feng looked at the endless river projection around him, looking at the Sky Wolf leader who was working hard to control Sky Wolf Palace. He admired his teacher even more. Teacher Mountain Passenger thinks that when I become the Universe Lord and control the Star Pagoda, I'll be able to suppress the primal Chaos City leader. Luo Feng couldn't help but be filled with fighting spirit. Such power, it was unbelievable. As long as the primal Chaos City leader was willing, with just a thought, a few light years of space would be completely obliterated. Skywolf leader, with your position, you still want to kill my human descendant? That's a bit too much. A majestic 10,000 kilometers tall silhouette stepped on the waves of the Thousand Treasure River, wielding a huge stone rod, strolling over. This is... Luo Feng's heart trembled. This was the first time he had seen his teacher's other doppelganger in the real world. That towering body was over 10,000 kilometers tall, and its skin was silvery white. There were many antennae on its head, and there were actually more than 1,000 antennae. That pair of eyes that were like large lakes were very calm, and there was a sense of peace. He walked over barefoot on the waves, holding a mottled stone staff that was full of scars. The stone staff seemed to have been ravaged. He wore ordinary clothes, but the clothes seemed to have thousands of tools that emitted sounds that could pierce through one's soul. Every single thread on the clothes was like a surging river. This special life form. Luo Feng could tell with one look that this was definitely a special life form. There wasn't a single race within the human race that looked like this. In its 10,000 kilometers height, if it wasn't originally that tall, intentionally making it that tall would only cause its power to drop. This is the primal Chaos City leader. Even Si Bua was dumbstruck. Even though he didn't want to believe it, he had to admit this primal Chaos City leader was indeed stronger than the eternal leader of the Sky Wolf clan, the Sky Wolf leader. He actually managed to invite the primal Chaos City leader. Si Bua looked at Luo Feng in disbelief. When the primal Chaos City leader wielded the broken stone rod and wore the Thousand Treasure robe, he walked over barefoot on the waves. The Sky Wolf leader's rage was immediately suppressed. Primal Chaos City leader, looks like this human is indeed a junior that you highly value. You actually came personally. The Sky Wolf leader stood on the palace walls, his entire body covered in flames, his voice rumbling. For that punk, didn't you come too? The primal Chaos City leader looked at the tiny Sky Wolf leader. In terms of size, the difference between the two was huge. However, in terms of formless pressure, even though the Sky Wolf leader was obviously weaker, they were still on the same level. Unlike Qing Ruku and Zi Haikao, who had completely become weeds, the primal Chaos City leader and the Sky Wolf leader didn't even look at Zi Haikao and the others. As for Luo Feng and Si Bua, they were like two ants under the weeds. Even the weeds could easily restrict them. I just casually rushed over. Within the flames, the Sky Wolf leader's gaze suddenly landed on Luo Feng. However, you are different. The treasure this human has on him, it should be from you, right? Luo Feng was shocked when he heard this. Treasure? He has a treasure? Sky Wolf Si Bua was even more shocked as he looked at Luo Feng. Treasure? Zi Haikao and Qing Ruko looked shocked too at Luo Feng. They didn't even know. Luo Feng actually had a treasure on him. Let me check. The Sky Wolf leader's voice resounded. Blade River Emperor? Haha. Interesting. I didn't expect a Sector Lord to use a treasure to hide his energy and disguise himself as an undying, to actually make such a name for himself. This disciple of yours isn't any weaker than the fallen Kudi from before. Let me guess what treasure he used to hide his energy. The reports said the Blade River Emperor's speed was extremely fast, ridiculously fast. Looks like this feather is very likely a treasure. Primal Chaos City Leader. Do you think I'm right? Zi Haikao and Qing Ruku along with Sky Wolf Si Bua were completely shocked. Sector Lord? He's actually just a Sector Lord? A Sector Lord was actually able to safely escape from Silver Eye? Si Bua was stunned. Treasure? It must be a treasure that allowed him to be so strong. How powerful. No wonder Mountain Guest wanted to nurture and temper this junior. Mountain Guest is one of the strongest experts in the cosmos. Indeed, he regards Sheen Wentian as extraordinary, being able to have such strength and fame at the World Overlord realm. Zi Haikao and Qing Ruku exclaimed. If they had known earlier that Luo Feng had a treasure, they would definitely have been moved. However, even if they were moved, they wouldn't have dared to snatch it. Luo Feng was shocked within, looking at the Sky Wolf leader before the palace. Mountain Traveler Teacher was right. Of the 3 treasures I have, the Pagoda Pearl, the Star Map, and the Killing Wu Feather have never appeared. As long as I don't unleash too much power, the strongest in the universe won't be able to recognize me. My speed is shockingly fast. That's why they suspect me? However, Sky Wolf Leader is indeed powerful. One look, and he can tell I'm a Sector Lord. The treasure concealing my aura. Looks like it can only fool the universe warriors. Luo Feng wasn't shocked, just like his big senior Pu Ti and Mountain Traveler. They could tell he was a Sector Lord with one look. The treasure concealing technique wasn't invincible. The Primal Chaos City Leader's voice rumbled. A normal treasure. What's wrong with giving it to our human race's younger generation? The younger generation has to be provided with sufficient resources to be nurtured. Only then can we produce enough absolute beings. Our human race has fewer undyings than you. However, we have more pinnacle beings than your demon race. Why is that? It's because we're willing, you're not. Only with sacrifice can you gain. You're the Sky Wolf Leader. Are you willing to give your subordinate Sky Wolf a treasure? Si Bua's heart trembled as he heard. Treasure? He too could get a treasure. He couldn't help but look at the Sky Wolf Leader, after which he lowered his head, not daring to look. This treasure could only be bestowed by the Sky Wolf Leader. How could he have the right to ask for it? Your human race is so strong. Isn't it all because of the virtual universe? The trillions of races in the universe. Who doesn't know that? The Sky Wolf Leader's voice rumbled. As for how I nurture my Sky Wolf clan's younger generation, it's not up to you to care. Today, I don't wish to speak more with you. I'll leave first. He immediately brought Si Bua into the Sky Wolf Palace. The Primal Chaos City Leader, however, laughed. His laughter mixed with the 1,000 Treasure River, causing it to rumble, causing the Sky Wolf Palace to sway. Oomph. The Sky Wolf Leader snorted softly from within the palace, following which the palace became a beam of light and flew away, reaching light speed before entering the dark universe. Obviously within the range of the 1,000 Treasure River, even the Sky Wolf Leader, with the power of the Sky Wolf Palace, was unable to teleport away. This Sky Wolf is still so arrogant. The Primal Chaos City Leader shook his head, after which he looked at Zi Haikao and Qin Yanko. Both of you, thank you for taking care of my human younger generation these 2,000 years. The Primal Chaos City Leader said, following which he brought Luo Feng and vanished. The endless 1,000 Treasure River too vanished. Qin Yanko was stunned. This Primal Chaos City Leader still dares to thank. That's true. Didn't the rumors say this Primal Chaos City Leader was incomparably tyrannical? Why does it seem like he has such a good temper? Good? Zi Haikao sneered. We didn't see the scene of the Primal Chaos City Leader's slaughter. The Sky Wolf Leader's nature is arrogant. Hence he dared to speak more. However, didn't you notice? He too left after a few words, and even after suffering a loss, he only snorted and didn't say much. Humanity's 5 great powers, the Virtual Universe Company and the Battle Axe Dojo, are on the same level. This Primal Chaos City Leader as the person in charge of the Virtual Universe Company. Just because he has a good temper, how could he intimidate them? If he had a good temper, how could his true body be famous for killing? Qin Yanko blinked his eyes. Be careful. the pinnacle beings of the 6 great clans. Which one of them isn't vicious and merciless? If there's a need, they could easily wipe us out. Zhaikao said solemnly. HM. Qin Yinko nodded. After a god country transfer and a million light years teleportation, the primal chaos city leader brought Luo Feng to one of the many universe secret regions of the human domain, the primal region. Deep within the primal region, the 1,000 treasure robe that the city leader was wearing flew into the air, instantly turning into an endless torrential river, revolving around the surrounding space, surrounding the palaces. River. Luo Feng looked at the endless river that hung in space. The 1,000 treasure river can transform into many forms. This vast river is its true form. The primal chaos city leader pointed at the endless 1,000 treasure river. Luo Feng, your teacher was able to easily suppress the Sky Wolf leader because of this 1,000 treasure river. Treasures like this are the pillars of our human race. Your luck is not bad. Who knows, you might even be able to acquire treasures comparable to the 1,000 treasure river. Your disciple will definitely work hard. Luo Feng replied. P.S. First chapter has arrived. Tomato overestimated himself. He only finished 1 chapter at 3 o'clock. Sweat, to be continued. If you like this work, you're welcome to vote for me. Your monthly vote, your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 962. The primal chaos city leader looked at Luo Feng's expression and couldn't help but laugh. Then I'll wait and see. The 1,000 treasure river was one of the top treasures. Even the pinnacle of the universe lords couldn't get their hands on such a treasure. He was just casually saying that to give Luo Feng another goal. He didn't expect Luo Feng to so easily acquire a top-level treasure. Teacher, you probably don't know yet. I have 2 treasures under my name now. That calamity armor probably isn't any weaker than this 1,000 treasure river. The Star Pagoda is even one of the strongest treasures in the universe. Luo Feng's thoughts flashed. The primal chaos city leader suddenly began to swiftly shrink in an instant from a planet like giant to Luo Feng's height. Luo Feng, I have something to ask you. I'll let you make your own decision. The primal chaos city leader said. Teacher, please speak. Luo Feng said. The 2 of them stood by the side of the 1,000 treasure river at the edge of the palaces, conversing. True Yin, and you are teacher and disciple too? I have to tell you about him too. The primal chaos city leader's eyes were calm. He said slowly, in truth, True Yin too trains in the beast god path. What? Luo Feng was stunned. There are actually many warriors who train in the beast god path. It's just that they've always kept it a secret. The primal chaos city leader said, like your generation's most exceptional, you, 7-Blade Emperor, you too train in the beast god path. Only the beast god is connected to the ancestral god sect. The existence of the ancestral god sect is a huge secret of the universe. Hence, normally when humans train in the beast god path, it's always kept a secret. Like you training in the beast god path, it's never been made public. Luo Feng nodded. His training in the beast god path was indeed a secret. Very few knew about it. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because your teacher True Yin trains in the Earth and Space Beast God path. The primal chaos city leader said. Luo Feng was shocked. Earth and space. Wasn't the beast god's inheritance token he obtained the beast god's Tao of Earth and space? I think you've guessed what I mean. The primal chaos city master looked at the vast 1,000 treasure river. That 7-Sword Emperor received a beast god inheritance token from the clan. With your talent, when you become an undying, the clan will easily approve this decision and give you a token too. But your teacher, True Yin, can't do it. His talent is actually inferior to yours. He has cultivated for too long, and with the guidance of experts in his race, he finally became an invincible Regis God Fiend. It was impossible for him to directly obtain a beast god's inheritance token from the tribe. His teacher had also applied for it on his behalf, but the tribe had not approved it. If he wanted to get the beast god's token of inheritance, he could only do it himself. But the universe was vast. How rare was the beast god's inheritance token? If one's luck is good, even a world overlord might be able to obtain one. If one's luck is bad, even a universe paragon wouldn't be able to find one even if he searched the entire universe. The primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng, and the resources of the race are shared by the entire human race. Even though there are countless treasures within, it has to be given to the most talented, and it has to be discussed by the upper echelons of the race. I do have a way to help your teacher. You've guessed it too. That is, you can directly give this beast god's inheritance token to your teacher. The primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng and said, "This way, your teacher entering the inheritance grounds will be a huge opportunity. He has a high chance of breaking through and becoming a universe knight. Of course, he might fail too. After all, his talent is far from yours and the 7 Blade Emperors. Your training time has been short, yet you're already close to him." "Yes, I'll give to my teacher." Luo Feng didn't hesitate at all. Tru Yin treated him so well. How could he not return the favor? Wasn't it just waiting until he became an undying to receive the beast god's inheritance token? He just had to wait a little longer. Anyway, the moment his third body was confirmed and nurtured, then he would step into the undying level. His teacher had already endured for countless years. If he could endure a little longer and give his teacher a huge opportunity, what was that? You decided you won't regret it? The primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng. "I won't." Luo Feng nodded without hesitation. The primal Chaos City leader nodded. "I'll give that beast god's inheritance token to your teacher. However, you don't have to wait until the undying level to enter the inheritance grounds. I'll help you apply to the clan. Even though normally you have to reach the undying level to receive it, I believe the Sky Wolf leader will definitely announce the news of the Blade River Emperor." Sky Wolf leader? Luo Feng was stunned. The Blade River Emperor is actually a sector lord. This news will definitely be announced by him, and he'll even spread the news. The moment it spreads, if a sector lord is already this strong, what will happen? The other pinnacle clans will all have their eyes on you, wanting to assassinate you. The primal Chaos City leader exclaimed, "Our human clans will naturally know too. I've always helped you hide your identity as the Blade River Emperor. Even the upper echelons of the clan don't know about it. However, very soon they will find out. I'll use this opportunity to help you apply for the Beast God's Inheritance token. Since your strength is already comparable to the 7 Blade Emperors, then the most basic requirements of the inheritance grounds should be something you can at least pass." The primal Chaos City leader smiled. "Even though there are dangers within the inheritance grounds, however, that's just the process of elimination and danger. There definitely won't be any assassinations from the other clans. After all, that's an important area of the Ancestral God sect. No one would dare go there to assassinate you. Hence, the Beast God's Inheritance token will very likely be approved. However, I'm not 100% confident. This is the entire clan's resource. I can at most lead the Virtual Universe Company's faction. When the time comes for the upper echelons to discuss, there's a chance the request might be rejected. After all, the usual practice is for the undying level to enter." The primal Chaos City leader said, "I can only say there's a 50% chance." "Thank you, teacher." Luo Feng said gratefully. Blood brothers would still have conflicts. The 5 great human clans would naturally have their own infighting. The clan's resources didn't belong to the primal Chaos City leader himself. One could imagine the difficulty. The more dazzling you are, the more confidence your teacher will have to fight for resources for you. The primal Chaos City leader smiled. Looking at Luo Feng before him, he was very satisfied within. Even though from their daily interactions, Luo Feng's growth, he had already deduced Luo Feng's personality. However, when Luo Feng didn't hesitate to gift the Beast God's Inheritance token to Tru Yin, it still made the primal Chaos City leader very happy. Obviously, Luo Feng was grateful. "Respected teacher, the human Blade River Emperor was a sector lord." This news was like a sudden clap of thunder, shocking countless experts. This news spread at a terrifying speed. Almost within a day, many experts of the human race knew about it. Almost everywhere in Hongmeng City, people could hear the discussions of Blade River King from the titled Undying Kings. The Blade River Emperor is actually a sector lord. He can easily kill an emperor-level warrior. He's actually a sector lord? Can a sector lord be that strong? Impossible. That's impossible. The news is definitely true. The demon race and automaton race have all put out a public bounty just to kill this Blade River Emperor. If the Blade River Emperor was a sector lord, how could so many warriors not recognize him? The energy of a sector lord and the energy of an undying are two completely different things. It's long been said that the Blade River Emperor acquired a treasure. Treasures are all able to hide one's energy and release a certain amount of pressure. Treasure? The Blade River Emperor has a treasure? The Knights of the Universe are all madly fighting for it. Crazy. The news spread like wildfire. Saber River King is a boundary master. Saber River King has a supreme treasure. These were enough to make countless powerhouses go crazy with jealousy. Just the appearance of the ceiling star had caused such a huge commotion. It could be seen just how shocking and terrifying the allure of a supreme treasure was. If the Blade River Emperor is a sector lord, then which sector lord is he? He's so heaven-defying and terrifying, even more unbelievable than could be in history. It's very likely that it's that Luo Feng. That Luo Feng is humanity's most heaven-defying sector lord of this generation. He's already passed the sector lord-level Primal Sky Mountain. He's even more powerful than Kudi and other geniuses. From what I see, it's not Luo Feng, but a hidden absolute genius of humanity. This genius is even stronger than Kudi and Luo Feng. Hence they hid his identity, giving him the identity of the Blade River Emperor and even giving him a treasure to hide his energy. There are so many geniuses. Luo Feng is already an absolute genius that appears once in 10 million years. Who knows? This Blade River Emperor's true body is one of humanity's most heaven-defying geniuses, even stronger than Kudi and Luo Feng. I still think that the Blade River Emperor and Luo Feng are the same person. Such a genius. Why would he remain hidden and unknown? In the vast universe, trillions of races, at least in the last 10 days to half a month, most of them had received news of the Blade River Emperor, causing his name to spread throughout the universe to countless warriors. The trillions of races all knew the Blade River Emperor was a heaven-defying genius that humanity nurtured. As for who his true body was it Luo Feng? It was just a suspicion. However, many warriors suspected Luo Feng because of all the sector lords humanity could find. Only Luo Feng had the ability. Dad, are you that Blade River Emperor? A few of the super families in our Ganwu universe country, when discussing business, they all talk about this Blade River Emperor. I've even heard some are guessing that the Blade River Emperor is you. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-star Bay Little District. Luo Feng was eating with his family when he was questioned by his sons Luo Hai and Luo Ping. I've heard many discussions in Yuxiang Mountain too. Su Xian looked at Luo Feng. Don't ask too much, Luo Feng said softly. Luo Ping and Luo Hai immediately laughed, because if it wasn't, their father would have rejected it long ago. Wow, Dad, you're too awesome. Luo Hai stared wide-eyed. Luo Feng was helpless, looking at his two sons. Remember, don't tell anyone else. Understood. We know the severity of the matter. Luo Ping and Luo Hai replied, simultaneously getting more excited. No matter, even though the Blade River Emperor wasn't the pinnacle of the universe, at least he was already famous and would leave his name in the history of the entire universe. Many warriors trained and fought. Didn't they all seek to be able to shake the trillions of races? Luo Feng, however, used the Demon Clan to push the waves and achieve this goal. This is just the beginning of my rise. Since you've pushed me to where the wind and waves are, it will only make me stronger. The demon race, you all will eventually miscalculate. Luo Feng thought. P.S. Update complete. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 963. The ancient primal chaos city, was as peaceful as it had been for billions of years. The three purple-robed messengers walked on the streets, quickly arriving in front of True Yan's residence. It's the city leader's purple-robed messengers. The purple-robed messengers are here. The disciples in True Yan's residence were all shocked. The city leader's most commonly seen black-robed messengers, purple-robed messengers, were very rare. For them to actually come to True Yan's residence, it seemed like it wasn't a small matter. Quick, hurry, and report to teacher. Report to teacher. After a while, True Yan personally came out to welcome them. He waited outside the hall, full of curiosity. Three purple-robed messengers from the city leader's residence actually came at once. Even if there's something, normally they would just send a black-robed messenger. Why did three purple-robed messengers come? True Yan, the leading purple-robed emissary, smiled. Congratulations. Congratulations, congratulations. The other two purple-robed messengers smiled too. Congratulations. I wonder what's the matter? Come, everyone please sit. True Yan led the three purple-robed messengers into the hall. At the same time, there were disciples who immediately served them wine and fruits before leaving obediently. They knew that they couldn't interfere with some important matters. Only the three purple-robed messengers and True Yan were left in the hall. Great news. The tall purple-robed messenger was full of smiles. He flipped his hand and a metal box appeared. So mysterious. True Yan smiled as he received it. Pa-ta. He opened the metal box. Within the box, there was a six-sided stone tablet. On it was a roaring beast god statue. True Yan was stunned. His hands trembled as he picked up the hexagonal tablet. Almost instantly, his eyes turned red. His fingers lightly touched the beast god statue, as if he was worried that it was just an illusion. His voice trembled as he said, "The beast god's inheritance token. It's the beast god's inheritance token. How long has it been? How long has it been? I've wanted it, but I couldn't get it." True Yan's body was shaking. Finally, I have a chance. Finally. For a long time, he had been stuck at the last step. Although the beast god's token of inheritance could help him, obtaining it was too difficult. There were very, very few beast god inheritance tokens in the entire universe. After all, they represented the most special inheritance of the ancestor god sect. The entire human race probably only had a few of each kind of inheritance token. Furthermore, the human race still had a plan for the emergence of peerless geniuses in the billions of eras in the future. Without sufficient talent, it would definitely not be bestowed directly. Unable to obtain the inheritance token, he didn't even have the slightest chance to think of a way to break through the final step. However, that final step was like a heavenly moat obstructing him. Actually, this final step also troubled countless formidable martial artists in the universe. Many peak stage and limited stage king-conferred martial artists had already reached this final step, but how many of them could become supremacies of the universe? Zhenyan thanks Primal Chaos City Leader. True Yan suddenly knelt down with a thud, his eyes filled with excitement. Thank you for the clan's generous gift. True Yan will definitely do his best through this inheritance and reach the universe supremacy realm in one go, not letting down the clan's expectations. True Yan, hurry up and get up. The tall purple-robed emissary jumped in fright and hurriedly went to help True Yan up. The clan actually bestowed me the beast god inheritance token. True Yan was incomparably excited. It wasn't bestowed by the clan. It was given to you by your disciple Luo Feng. The tall, purple-robed emissary said. True Yan was stunned. You mean, it's your disciple Luo Feng? The tall, purple-robed emissary said. I was originally serving the Primal Chaos City Leader in the Primal region. This time, the city leader personally ordered the three of us to come over and give this to you. As for Luo Feng, he's still in the Primal region with the city leader. How does he have the beast god inheritance token? Many emotions surged in True Yan's heart. There was excitement, gratitude, doubt, and anxiety. He thought to himself, this disciple of mine also cultivates the beast god's Tao. With this beast god's inheritance token, he could easily exchange for another beast god's inheritance token with the other tribes. He went to receive the beast god's inheritance himself. Why would he give it to me? No matter how good the relationship between master and disciple was, the strong warriors of the universe would always try their best to raise their own strength. Things that weren't important to oneself, to be able to give it to the teacher was already a form of respect. True Yin, you've accepted a good disciple. We won't stay any longer. We'll return to report. The tall, purple-robed emissary saw that True Yin was about to send him off and said, "No need to send me off." Following which the three left, leaving behind True Yin, who was filled with excitement and unease. As the saying goes, gifts that are too heavy can burn one's hands. Holding the beast god inheritance token from his disciple made his hands feel hot, even though it was something he yearned for. True Yan's consciousness connected to the virtual universe. First, he used 10 consecutive messages to rush Luo Feng, after which he immediately arrived at Xiang Mountain Luo Feng's villa. "Luo Feng," True Yin shouted as soon as he entered the manor, causing many of the servants and guards in the manor to be extremely puzzled. "Teacher." Luo Feng walked out of the hall. "Follow me in." True Yin grabbed Luo Feng and entered the hall. The moment the two sat down, True Yin anxiously asked, "Where did the beast god inheritance token come from? Was it given to you by the clan? Don't tell me you don't know how important it is to you. You two train in the path of the beast god. How can you give up such an opportunity to your teacher? Even though I, True Yin, have always wanted to get this token, however, to use my disciple's future to exchange for my own, I can't be at ease. My heart, as a strong warrior, isn't stable. Even if I accept the inheritance, I'm afraid I'll fail." "Teacher, don't be anxious." Luo Feng said, "This wasn't given to me by the clan. I got it myself." "You got it?" True Yin was shocked. "That easy to get? How could the beast god inheritance token be so easy to get? After all, as long as a strong warrior discovers it, he will be able to infuse his god energy into it and know its importance. Usually when he doesn't need it, he would immediately send it back to the clan. This resulted in the vast universe. Most of the inheritances that were passed down were monopolized by the clan. I really got it myself." Luo Feng said, "Think about it. I gave it to you through the city leader's residence. If it was given to me by the clan, even the primal chaos city leader teacher wouldn't allow me to do it." True Yin nodded. "That makes sense. The primal chaos city leader wouldn't just watch you do whatever you want. Even if you insist on doing it, the city leader would order someone to inform me. Teacher, you can use it first. It's not hard for me to get the inheritance token from the clan," Luo Feng said. "With the strength you've displayed, the clan will definitely value you. Even the Seven-Blade Emperor was given the token. Even if he's weaker than you will definitely be able to do it." True Yin nodded and frowned. "However, to get it, you'll have to wait until you become an undying. That's equivalent to delaying your acceptance of the inheritance by a long time." "Teacher, don't worry." Luo Feng laughed. "Teacher, don't forget. I'm the Blade River Emperor. My strength is already sufficient. Also, the Primal Chaos City Leader teacher personally helped me apply for the token. He said that with my talent in his face, it's a 100% success." True Yin exclaimed, "The Primal Chaos City Leader. That's the person in charge of our human virtual universe company. He pushed for this. Say it's a 100% success is definitely true." "Haha, Luo Feng. I've really taken advantage of you this time." Small matter, small matter." Luo Feng laughed. In the depths of the primal region, the rumbling thousand-treasure river flowed majestically in space. In the center of the many palaces, Luo Feng sat at the top of one of the palaces. He sat crossed-legged and gazed at the distant, endless river. "Luo Feng, today is the appointed day for the discussion. Whether or not the Beast God Inheritance Token is approved will depend on today. If it fails, you'll have to wait until you become an undying before applying again." The Primal Chaos City Leader's words from before resounded in his ears. "Let's hope it succeeds." "It will definitely succeed." Luo Feng sat crossed-legged at the top of the palace, anticipating. The inheritance grounds, the ancestral god sect's important grounds. I really can't wait. Time passed. This made Luo Feng anxious. However, he knew that at this time, the highest echelons of humanity were discussing this matter. Virtual Universe Company, Huge Axe Dojo, Universe Mercenary Alliance. These 5 powers had all gathered. Would Luo Feng's matter succeed? Would they occasionally make an exception for him? After a while, Luo Feng. A calm voice resounded. Luo Feng turned fiercely. Behind him on the roof of the palace stood the primal Chaos City leader wielding the mottled stone rod. This made Luo Feng's heart tremble. Looks like the discussion had ended, and there was a result. Teacher, Luo Feng stood up and bowed. The discussion has ended. Looking at your expression, I can tell you're anxious. The primal Chaos City Master said, Relax, it's good news. The application has already been approved. The exposure of your identity as the Blade River King has indeed shocked those universe masters of my race, and they have high hopes for you. Your master didn't have to spend too much effort. Luo Feng was immediately overjoyed. How would he believe the primal Chaos City leader's words? Behind the scenes, his teacher had indeed put in a lot of effort. Thank you, teacher. Your disciple will definitely work hard and not let you down. I won't let the other universe lords down. Luo Feng said, as long as you don't let humanity down. The Chaos City Master laughed heartily. The Beast God Inheritance token will be delivered within these 2 days. I have already sent a message to Zhang Yin to come to the primitive mystic region. When the time comes, he will meet up with you. The 2 of you will set off together towards the ancestral god church's inheritance ground. Yes, Luo Feng was filled with glee. The human race's efficiency was extremely high. In just the 2nd day, there were already messengers personally delivering the token. Beast God Inheritance Token. Luo Feng looked at the 6-edged metal plate in his hand. On it was engraved a huge horned lizard beast god statue. This was indeed the beast god statue of Blood River World. However, it was obviously not as clear as the statue Luo Feng had before. It even had the fusion laws infused within. What a mysterious metal. I've never even heard of it before. Luo Feng caressed the 6-edged metal plate. His spirit energy permeated it and information flowed into his mind. It was almost the same as before. Even the universe coordinates were the same. P.S. First chapter has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 964. The day he received the inheritance token, Luo Feng had just told his teacher Tru Yin about it, and he immediately left Primal Chaos City, arriving in the Primal Region on the same day. Primal Region, Central Teleportation Area. Dressed in black armor and boots, Luo Feng and the golden-armored Tru Yin flew down from a ship cabin door, landing on the vast continent. This continent had large amounts of teleportation pathways, and using God Country teleportation here, they didn't have to worry about other warriors searching for their God Country coordinates. Teacher, we are incomparably far from the inheritance grounds. Luo Feng asked, Do you have any items closer to the inheritance grounds? The closest item to the inheritance grounds is also 1 billion light years away. Tru Yin said, That far? Luo Feng was shocked. No matter how fast a ship was, it would still take over a year to fly in the dark universe. I have a servant's item that's much closer. Taking a universe ship would take half a year to reach. Luo Feng said, after which he waved his hand, and beside him appeared a foreign race being covered in scales. Its face was covered in a purple membrane. This, however, attracted the attention of the other human warriors on the continent. That's true, Yin Emperor. Tru Yin actually left Primal Chaos City. How is that possible? He really came out. Who's that beside Tru Yin? A black armor. Could it be the Blade River Emperor? The rumors say he's Luo Feng. This possibility is very high. Look at that black armored man's relationship with Tru Yin seems to be very good. One has to know Luo Feng is his disciple. We've never seen this black armored man before. His aura is so strong. It's very likely he's the Blade River Emperor that kept his wings treasure. Even though the discussions were soft, The human warriors didn't mute their voices. Obviously, they wanted Luo Feng to hear and see his reaction. Luo Feng and Tru Yin glanced at each other. Their guesses are really accurate. Tru Yin communicated, his eyes gleaming with ridicule. Disciple, your reputation right now isn't just a little bit big. It's not weird that they guessed. Many guessed the Blade River Emperor is Luo Feng, and the rumors say my treasure is the Silver Wings. Luo Feng communicated helplessly, and there are only so many strong warriors in the human race. Most of them know each other. Suddenly someone they don't know popped out, and he's so close to you, teacher, and my build is similar to that of an Earth person. It's not weird for them to guess. Haha, you're in a lot of trouble. Tru Yin teased. Who cares? Being famous isn't necessarily a bad thing. Luo Feng looked at the servant beside and ordered, God Country transfer. Yes. The foreign race servant immediately activated the God Country's teleportation. Wang, a jade blue ocean like hazy light enveloped the surroundings. Luo Feng and Tru Yin, who were enveloped by this light, could vaguely see that this light was connected to the other end of the tunnel. That was the God Country of the foreign race servant. Whoosh! Luo Feng, Tru Yin, and the foreign race servant simultaneously vanished. Using the Divine Kingdom as a transit point, they soon arrived at a secluded place far away from the human domain. It was a star in a remote region of the universe. This servant of yours is interesting, hiding the token inside the star. There are countless stars in the universe, and they're so huge, with such strong energy ripples, it's indeed a good place to hide the token. The teacher and disciple, a gold light and a black light, broke through the space and flew out of the star. Disciple, what's the maximum speed of your ship? Tru Yin asked. The maximum speed in the dark universe is 72 times light speed. Luo Feng said helplessly, I originally had a life ship that could travel 80 times light speed, but it was taken away by that night. You're ruthless, to be able to offend the Night Qing Foucault. Tru Yin shook his head and laughed. The two of them had chatted for a long time in the primal region when they met. Tru Yin had asked Luo Feng how he obtained the Beast God Inheritance token. Luo Feng had roughly explained it. Even though he hid some important information, Qing Foucault Knight had told him directly. My ship, however, has close to 90 times light speed. Tru Yin laughed. Ha, I finally have something to be proud of. Close to 90 times light speed? Luo Feng was shocked. Tru Yin waved his hand. A streamlined spaceship appeared in the starry sky. At first glance, it looked like a shuttle, and its entire body was dazzling gold. Master, the golden shuttle ship spoke. You've finally used me. It's been so many years. I haven't been able to fly to my heart's content in the dark universe. This is a metallic life form. Tru Yin smiled and explained. Ever since I entered Primal Chaos City, I haven't brought him out in so many years. Let's go in. The cabin door opened. Luo Feng and Tru Yin entered the shuttle ship, after which it became a beam of gold light, its speed swiftly rising, quickly reaching light speed and entering the dark universe. After entering the dark universe, it madly accelerated, its speed constantly rising. 89 times, 90 times, 91 times, oh, there's no way to accelerate anymore. It's over 91 times light speed. The metallic life form's happy voice resounded within the ship. The master has come out to explore again. It's too lonely, too lonely. A cute girl's head appeared on the control panel of the ship, calling out, Girl. Luo Feng, who was sitting on the sofa, holding a glass of wine, spat it out. Tru Yin stared, shouting at the control panel. Wasn't she an old man before? Suppressing it for trillions of years, turning from old to young, male to female, can't I do that? The living AI called out. Luo Feng, however, laughed out loud. Teacher, you've suppressed the living AI for so long. It'd be weird if nothing changed. Tru Yin shook his head, staring angrily. Interstellar travel is very boring, and the scenery of the outside world is always the same. At the beginning, Luo Feng was still chatting with teacher Tru Yin, but after getting drunk, the two of them returned to their respective cabins and started to meditate. Even though the speed of the ship is very fast, it will still take 4 months to reach the land of inheritance. Within the cabin, the Masha clansman was in the cabin, while his earth body returned to the internal world to train the 9-level manuals. Within the internal world, on the endless grass plains, a gentle breeze blew, causing the countless blades of grass to bend. Luo Feng looked up at the distant, majestic, golden-horned beast. The third metal plate of the 9-level manuals, I've really gained a lot. Luo Feng was filled with glee. Back when he acquired the first 2 metal plates, he only received the first, second, and 5th level manuals. The other 6 levels were all empty. However, after acquiring the 3rd metal plate, he managed to complete the 3rd and 4th level that way. Luo Feng could continuously train 3 levels in one go. The first level is when my genes reach 3 times my original level. The second level is 6 times, the December 3rd times, the 4th 24 times, and the 5th 48 times. Luo Feng looked at the distant golden horned beast. During the 2,000 years he was trapped in the ice prison, the golden horned beast had long since completed its training. However, as it trained, Luo Feng discovered a huge problem. The golden horned beast genes were already very strong, 10 times that of humans. Right now, it was training the first 5 levels of the 9-level manuals, causing this golden horned beast to be 480 times that of humans. This was an extremely heaven-defying number. Many special life forms weren't as heaven-defying. Whether it was the Banku or the Silver Eye, they were only about 100 times that of a human. 480 times, that's heaven-defying. Luo Feng exclaimed within, which means that when I become an undying, a normal human emperor-level god body's limit is 100,000 sector lord level. However, the golden horned beast can easily reach 48 million sector lord level. Many special life forms aren't that strong. A special life form was normally about 100 times that of a human's genes. Even the weakest had to be 10 times that of humans. Very few life forms could exceed 500 times. Extremely rare could exceed 1,000 or even 1,000 times. The more heaven-defying one was, the rarer their numbers were. And the weaker life forms had more numbers, like the Banku. On the other hand, like the beast god and mountain guest god body, they were simply too heaven-defying. They were the only ones in the universe. I guess that as the life form's genes get stronger, the blood river energy's effects would decrease. Luo Feng exclaimed within. Back then, the blood river energy could make my right claw 100 times stronger and my entire body 10 times stronger. However, the blood river energy isn't omnipotent after all. It can strengthen humans. It can strengthen the golden horned beast. However, can it strengthen a life form like the beast god? The blood river energy was originally the essence energy of the beast god's blood. Luo Feng thought. When one's body's genetic level was low, the blood river energy's effects were very obvious. However, against a life form like Mountain Guest, against a unique and heaven-defying life form in the universe, the blood river energy would be useless. The same logic. The golden horned beast trained in the unique 9-level manual, it was already comparable to a special life form, reaching 480 times the genetic level. When the golden horned beast activated the blood river energy within its body, it was still effective, however, it was obviously much weaker. The golden horned beast's right claw is still very strong. However, it's only equivalent to 2 times his entire body strength. Luo Feng thought. Back then, it was equivalent to 10 times his entire body strength. Now it was only 2 times. And ever since he completed the 3rd level, Luo Feng realized that his right claw's strength had reached its limit and couldn't be raised anymore. The 4th and 5th level couldn't raise his right claw's strength at all. It had already reached its limit. The moment I activate the blood river energy and increase it by 2 times, the golden horned beast body's genetic level will exceed 1,000 times. Luo Feng thought. This is extremely rare, even among the special life forms. I should be satisfied. I'll continue training. The 9-level manual is indeed a technique that requires a sky soul crystal to withstand. However, it's still restricted by the universe laws, a technique that only one can train in. As his training got stronger, the 9-level manual strength began to show. For months later, disciple, disciple, we're about to reach the inheritance grounds, quickly come out. True Yan's voice resounded. The inheritance grounds he had reached. P.S. Chapter 17 has ended. Tomato will rest for a day. The day after tomorrow, I'll start the 18th chapter update. Due to the many late updates this week, I've already missed 4 chapters. Tomato will slowly fill in the gaps in the next week. Asterisk to be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 965. Within the ship's control room, Luo Feng and True Yin looked outside through the external simulation. Ahead of the ship, there was a huge python like raging wind. Waves and waves of black wind howled and enveloped a 1 trillion km area, almost like pythons playing with each other, sweeping through space. This is the legendary ancestral god secret region. True, Yin exclaimed. Legend has it, the ancestral god secret region is one of the most dangerous regions. Luo Feng exclaimed. It's comparable to a universe country size. There are dangers everywhere. Even a knight would find it hard to survive, even if he were to enter. Universe secret regions were separated into different levels and areas. And since they already knew the coordinates of the inheritance grounds, Luo Feng and True Yin naturally investigated it first. This investigation shocked them. So the inheritance grounds were actually within one of the most terrifying secret regions in the universe, the ancestral god secret region. As the highest level and most dangerous region, normal dangers were enough to make a nightfall. Some extremely dangerous places would even make a universe lord hold his breath. Its largest diameter was 160 million light years. Flying at sublight speed, it would take 200 million years just to traverse through it, to explore the entire ancestor god's secret realm. Even if one flew back and forth since the beginning of the universe, it would be impossible to explore the entire ancestor god's secret realm. What's more, who would dare to fly in such a dangerous place? Mysterious, dangerous, unable to enter. This was the name of the ancestral god secret region. Legend has it that the most commonly seen thing in the ancestor god secret realm is the black nightmare whirlwind. However, the moment a universe paragon falls into a black nightmare whirlwind, if it's a small one, it'll probably heavily injure the universe paragon. If it's a large one, it'll be enough to annihilate the universe paragon. True Yin sighed. Disciple, far ahead of us are black nightmare whirlwinds. There are even more behind. Luo Feng said. True Yin turned his head to look. In the distance, there was an endless black whirlwind that was hundreds of millions of kilometers wide, and it seemed to pierce through the starry sky. If the black nightmare whirlwinds in front of them were pythons, then the terrifying whirlwinds behind them were pythons that were billions of times larger. This is the outermost black nightmare tornado. Only the outermost black nightmare tornado would be this big. True Yin was shocked. Luo Feng nodded. We've already entered the interior of the ancestral god secret region. The coordinates are here. The ship's speed began to slow down and gradually stopped. The cabin door opened and Luo Feng and True Yin flew out. In the vast void, there were only the countless black tornadoes chasing each other in the distance. Luo Feng and True Yin stood in mid-air and exchanged glances. Where? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. The inheritance grounds, the coordinates are here, but we can't see it. Wait, True Yin said. Suddenly the calm space around them began to distort. Luo Feng and True Yin's expressions changed. However, the distorting space immediately became a whirlpool that swallowed them. Teleportation. Luo Feng and True Yin immediately thought of these words, following which everything before them became clear. Luo Feng and True Yin were still standing in space. Only the distant scenery was breathtakingly beautiful. In the distance, there was an endless rainbow-colored river flowing. This rainbow-colored river was vast and filled with a mysterious energy. It made one involuntarily stare at it. Luo Feng and Tru Yin were warriors with strong willpower. They immediately realized this and awoke. You woke up pretty quickly. A cold voice rang out. Luo Feng and Tru Yin turned fiercely to look. Beside them stood an 8 m tall rock god. He was dressed in a purple armor with flames swirling around it. His entire body was dark green, almost like a dark green jade. Luo Feng and Tru Yin could tell from his appearance. This was the Fade Song race of the universe, a type of rock life form. Standing there as though he didn't exist, this made Luo Feng and Tru Yin shocked. It's a universe knight, Luo Feng thought. Only a universe knight can unleash teleportation without me noticing. His aura is so hidden that even I can't detect it. Tru Yin was shocked too. I'm the ancestral god sex receiver. The Fate Song race knight looked coldly at the two. Humans, take out the beast god inheritance token. Without it, you dare barge into our ancestral god sex territory. Die. The moment his words landed, a terrifying burning energy descended, causing Luo Feng and Tru Yin to feel as though they were in a sea of fire, unable to resist at all. Like a small boat floating in the ocean, that feeling of helplessness made Luo Feng suspicious. The receiver of the ancestral god sect? The official members of the ancestral god sect consisted of the ancestral god, beast god, god generals, and god envoys. The envoys were obviously the weakest. Even after inheriting the position, they were only comparable to the weakest universe knights. However, this Fade Song race being before them, just the pressure he emitted made it hard for him and his teacher to resist. Teacher, is he a god general? Luo Feng communicated. He should be. Tru Yin communicated. Otherwise, he wouldn't be this strong. Even though they were shocked within, Luo Feng and Tru Yin flipped their hands and took out their Beast God Inheritance tokens. Beast God Inheritance tokens are incredibly rare. The Fate Song Race Knight revealed a smile. Your human race is indeed one of the 6 pinnacle races. You've already sent 2 of your people here with the Beast God Inheritance tokens. Since that's the case, you 2 are the inheritors. You have the right to enter. Follow me. The Fate Song Race Knight flew ahead. Luo Feng and Tru Yin naturally followed beside him. Do you see that? The Fate Song Race Knight pointed ahead at the endless surging rainbow illusion river. Luo Feng and Tru Yin nodded. I'll bring you closer. The moment the Fate Song Race Knight finished, Luo Feng and Tru Yin felt their vision blur. They had already teleported a few light years and arrived near the endless river. This is... Luo Feng held his breath. How is this a river? It was completely countless aurora lights of 5 different colors. The endless aurora lights formed this endless river. From a few light years away, he could still make out the shape of the river. However, from a closer distance, Luo Feng could only feel that it was boundless. This is the legendary 5-colored aurora lake of the ancestral god secret region. Tru Yin was shocked. You're quite knowledgeable. The Fate Song Race Knight looked shocked at Tru Yin. He smiled and praised. Right, this is the 5-colored aurora lake. Lake? Luo Feng was curious. From up close, it was endless. From afar, it was a surging river with no end. Of course it's a lake. The Fate Song Race Knight said. From where you were before, you thought it was a river. However, if you were to fly above the river and look, you'd realize it's an almost circular endless lake. This 5-colored aurora lake has a diameter of at most 10 light years. Its power is endless. Just every aurora light, if released, can heavily injure a universe knight. And the entire lake is formed from endless aurora lights. Its power is limitless. It's one of the strongest treasures in the vast universe. Luo Feng and Tru Yin were stunned. Every aurora light was that strong? This 5-colored aurora lake is our ancestral god sex protection treasure. The Fate Song Race Knight was shocked. With this treasure, who dares barge into our ancestral god sect? One of the strongest treasures in the universe. Tru Yin exclaimed in surprise. No wonder it's the ancestral god sect, the universe's #1 power. Luo Feng too was shocked. He was thinking about the Star Tower. Just looking at the countless auroras on the surface of the five-colored aurora lake, one could tell that it had boundless power. It was also the ultimate treasure of the #1 power in the universe. The countless ceiling stars in his stellar pagoda that acted as the axis were all precious. There was also the heaven-reaching pillar, and so on. Mountain Guest had also said that the stellar pagoda was one of the strongest treasures in the universe. I can actually see the five-colored aurora lake. True, Ian exclaimed. I've learned something new. The universe's strongest treasure. To be able to see it once, it's luck. The Fate Song race knight was proud. He said, doesn't your 4 races have one of the universe's strongest treasures, the Star Tower, and the battlefield outside? That's a treasure that countless warriors can't even move or take away. Even now, countless warriors in the universe don't know its true power. Anyway, it doesn't have an owner yet. The Star Tower is one of the strongest treasures? True Yin was shocked. Looks like you don't know much. The Fate Song race knight shook his head and laughed. The Star Tower is one of the universe's strongest treasures that can be easily seen. It's also the most mysterious one. No one can figure out its true secrets, and no one can take it away. It's been there for countless years, and no one can take it away. All right, I'll take you to Circus Island. The Fate Song race knight teleported with Luo Feng and True Yin. With the space teleportation, Luo Feng and True Yin arrived at the edge of the five-colored aurora lake. They were only a few hundred meters away from the lake. It was too close. Beams of light. Every beam was about 10,000 kilometers long. That vast and unrivaled power made Luo Feng and True Yin shocked. See, Circus Island is over there. The Fate Song race knight pointed to the depths of the five-colored aurora lake. What? It's in the five-colored aurora lake. Luo Feng and True Yin looked in shock. Indeed, they could vaguely see an island, but it was very blurry under the endless aurora lights. Come in. The Fate Song race knight flew in. Go in. The aurora has unlimited power. True Yin couldn't help but say. Don't worry. It's one of the most powerful treasures in the universe. It won't hurt anything it recognizes. Both of you have the Beast God Inheritance token, so you can come in, the Fate Song race knight said. True Yin looked at Luo Feng and said, Disciple, let me try first. Then he walked to the edge of the lake and reached out to touch an aurora flying toward him. After he touched it, the aurora was like water. It surrounded True Yin's arm and didn't attack him at all. The Fate Song race knight didn't say anything. He had seen many inheritors who came here were very cautious and didn't easily believe what others said. Let's go in, True Yin said. Yes, teacher. Luo Feng was secretly grateful, but he didn't say anything else. He followed his teacher into the five-colored aurora lake. It was as if they were moving in a real lake. As they flew, the aurora felt extremely comfortable. As they got closer, the Circus Island became bigger and bigger. The Circus Island is where the inheritors of the Beast God live. It's also the outermost area of the five-colored aurora lake, the Fate Song race knight said as they arrived at the Circus Island. P.S. Chapter 1 is here. Chapter 18, Ancestor God Sect begins, to be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 966. Circus Island was a few million km in diameter. There were no auroras within 10,000 kilometers of it. Shio, shio, shio. 3 beams of light swiftly flew in and landed on Circus Island. It was the Fate Song race knight, Luo Feng, and True Yin. So many palaces. At a glance, Luo Feng saw numerous palaces on the distant land, as well as on some mountains. There were countless palaces of various styles, and many of them had powerful auras, which made Luo Feng frown. It seems that there are many experts living on Circus Island. Luo Feng thought to himself. Look, the Fate Song race knight pointed to the sky. Luo Feng and True Yin looked up. Luo Feng looked at the sky. Circles of light and shadow were covering the entire Circus Island. The circles of light and shadow were constantly expanding, and when they reached the edge, they disappeared. And in the center of the circles, new circles were born. One circle of light covered another, like ripples on water. They spread in all directions. Birth, destruction. Birth, destruction. So endless. Every circle of light was formed from countless threads of law. The laws of time, space, metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, lightning, light, and various other laws were mixed within them. There were even numerous fusion laws, and even more incomparably profound threads of law intertwined with each other, causing every circle of light to be extremely perfect. Luo Feng was completely immersed in it. It was too shocking. The circles seemed to explain all the mysteries of the universe. You too, the Fate Song Race Knight shouted. Luo Feng and Tru Yin were startled. This is... Tru Yin was shocked. This is unbelievable. This is the outer appearance of the universe's operation laws. The Fate Song Race Knight's eyes were like copper bells as he looked up. Our ancestral god sect is the universe's #1 power. We protect the universe's operation laws as our core. Naturally, we are protected by the universe's operation laws. Luo Feng was stunned. Protect the universe's operation laws? Just like our ancestral god sect's ancestral god secret realm, it has the most special life forms in the universe and the most special treasures. The 5-colored Aurora Lake was also given to us by the universe's operation laws. The Fate Song Race Knight said confidently, our ancestral god sect follows the universe's operation laws. Anyone who goes against the ancestral god sect will go against the universe's operation laws. Tyrannical enough. Luo Feng muttered to himself. Humph, you don't seem to believe me? The knight from the Fate Song race looked at Luo Feng and Tru Yin. You will understand after living here for 1 trillion years. Living for 1 trillion years? Luo Feng was puzzled. Come with me. The first thing we need to do is to build a residence on Circus Island. The Fate Song Knight said as he took big strides forward. Luo Feng and Tru Yin followed. Every step he took was over 1,000 kilometers. It was rather fast. Walking on Circus Island, Luo Feng saw palaces of various styles in the distance. At the same time, he saw experts of all races in the universe. There were hundreds of millions of races, which were extremely mysterious. Living beings of different appearances and natures lived everywhere. All of them had powerful auras, and some of them were special beings that Luo Feng knew. How many people live on Circus Island? Luo Feng asked curiously. Except for the owner of Circus Island, the rest are all inheritors. I'm just taking you here temporarily. I'll leave soon. The Fate Song race's supremacy said, there are many inheritors. Since the birth of the universe, the number of inheritors accumulated is extremely shocking. Even if the human race only has a few hundred inheritors since the birth of the universe, what about the entire universe? You must know that the universe is fair. The inheritance tokens given by the Ancestor God sect are scattered across the universe. There are hundreds of millions of races in the universe. In total, the number of inheritors is hundreds of millions of times that of humans. Tens of billions? Luo Feng stared. So many inheritors? Tru Yin couldn't believe it either. The universe is vast, and you humans are just a part of it. The Fate Song race's supremacy said, since the birth of the universe, it's impossible to calculate how many inheritors there are. I'm afraid only the high and mighty Ancestor God knows. Of course, there aren't so many inheritors on Circus Island. Currently, there are more than 100 million residents on Circus Island. More than 100 million? Luo Feng asked doubtfully. What about the other inheritors in history? If an inheritor dies, even if the Lord of the universe can reverse time and space and resurrect him, he won't be willing to resurrect your inheritance token. The price of resurrecting the beast god's inheritance token is too high, so even the Lord of the universe can't bear to do it. The Fate Song race's supremacy said, Every inheritor has an inheritance token. From the moment you enter this place, the token is connected to your life. If you die, the token will shatter and you can't give it to anyone else. Many strong warriors have died, so there are only about 100 million inheritors left, the Supremacy said. As they chatted, the Fatesong Venerable walked to a mountain beside a river and ordered, "You too can build the palaces here. Remember, each palace is at most 1 kilometer in length and width. Even the demon clan or giant star beasts with huge divine bodies have to shrink their divine bodies to live in them. No one is an exception." Luo Feng and Tru Yin nodded. They had seen countless palaces along the way, but none of them was more than 1 kilometer long and wide. There's more. You can leave a token in your palaces, and you can teleport here directly from the God Kingdom, the Supremacy said. Circe Island will be a place you come to often in the future. Unless you die. If you have soul slaves, remember, don't bring them out, the Supremacy said. The Fatesong Supremacy said, once they're brought out, they'll be attacked by the 5-colored Aurora Lake and instantly annihilated. Even if you really want to bring them out, you can only do it in your palaces. The palaces are your territory, so you can't bring any slaves out once you leave the palaces. Of course, it's fine for plant life forms, metal life forms, and other vassal life forms. Understood. Luo Feng and Tru Yin listened carefully. Come with me. The Supremacy continued to guide them. His responsibility was to guide them, so he had to tell them some basic information. After a while, they came to the highest mountain on Circe Island. There was only one towering palace, which was more than 1,000 kilometers long. Inheritors are no exception. All palaces have restrictions, but the island lord doesn't. The Supremacy pointed at the towering palace. That's the island lord's palace. Let's go. They stepped on the mountain. Look up. The Supremacy pointed at the sky. Luo Feng and Tru Yin looked up. Luo Feng saw a beautiful and unbelievable scene. From his position and looking up, he could actually see a slit in the lake. Following this slit, he could see the center of the lake. There was an incomparably glaring, huge palace. Around that palace that was emitting endless light, there were 8 smaller palaces floating and revolving around it. That's the real core of the Ancestor God sect. The Supremacy pointed and said enviously, the largest palace is the Ancestor God Palace. That's where the Ancestor God sect lives. Although there are 3 Ancestor Gods in the Ancestor God sect, one guards the core. The 8 smaller palaces around the Ancestor God Palace are the 8 Beast Divine Palaces, where the 8 Beast Gods live. The 10 palaces around the 8 Beast Divine Palaces are the Guardian Beast Divine Palaces. There are 72 continents in the periphery of the Divine Beast Temple. Of course, from our perspective, we can only see 63 continents. Those are the continents where the 72 divine generals live. It's said that each divine general continent is as big as Circe Island. The densely packed stars in the outermost periphery are the 3,000 star worlds. Each star world is also the residence of a divine emissary. The Ancestor God Palace, the Guardian Beast Divine Palaces, the 72 godly generals continents, and the 3,000 God Messenger worlds are the core of the Ancestor God sect. The Supremacy side. Apart from this core area, there are many islands in the Aurora Lake. Apart from your Circe Island, there are many other scattered islands where the outer members of the Ancestor God sect live. The Fatesong tribe Venerable said. Outer members? Luo Feng and Tru Yin looked at him in surprise. Substitute God Messengers, substitute godly generals, and powerful beast god inheritors are all outer members, said the Supremacy. Seeing the 2 shocked Luo Feng and Tru Yin, he sneered, Humans, do you think there's a free lunch in the universe? Remember, the universe is fair. Our Ancestor God sect's efforts will naturally be rewarded. The God Messenger Inheritance Crystal, the Godly General's Inheritance Grounds, and the Beast God Inheritance Grounds in the Ancestor God Secret Realm, which one of them didn't cost a lot. The Supremacy said, since you've reaped the benefits, of course you have to pay a price. However, the Ancestor God sect doesn't care about the weak. Hence, Those who receive the god messengers and godly generals' inheritance, unless they receive the complete inheritance, they don't have to work for the ancestor god sect. Otherwise, he wouldn't need to work for the ancestral god sect, which is equivalent to giving it to him for free. The Fates-on Supremacy said, however, it's different if you receive a complete inheritance. For example, the inheritance of a godly general. Once a godly general's inheritance is accepted, the entire inheritance land will collapse. It's equivalent to the loss of an inheritance land. Luo Feng was moved. Back when he went to the Demon Node inheritance ground, it indeed said that whoever received the complete inheritance would have the entire inheritance ground destroyed. Substitute, god messengers, and godly generals all receive the complete inheritance. As for the powerful beast god cultivators, they have reached an extremely high level of the beast god inheritance and are very close to the complete beast god inheritance. You should know that the ancestor god sect has to pay a greater price for the beast god inheritance. So these powerful beast god inheritance cultivators naturally have to pay a price, said the Fates-on Supremacy. These are the outer members. P.S. 2 chapters completed. Chapter 18, Ancestor God Sect, begins. Everyone throw in your votes and recommendations. To be continued. If you like this work, please come come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 9, 67. What about the Guardian Beast Shrine? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. The Guardian Beast God refers to those who have received the complete Beast God inheritance and trained to the Universe Lord level. Maybe some of them are unable to inherit the position because the current Beast God is still alive, or maybe they themselves aren't willing to inherit the position. After all, even though inheriting the position can cause one's power to rise explosively, they will never be able to rise again. The Fate-song Race Knight said, the Lord of the Universe, no matter where he is a group of great existences that stand at the pinnacle of the universe. Even if they are unwilling to inherit the position, the Ancestor God Sect will respect their wishes and make them the Beast God Protector, said the Fate-song Race Supremacy. Luo Feng and True Yin nodded. They weren't surprised at all. There was no such thing as a free lunch in this world. Meat pies falling from the sky once was fine, but this ancestral god sect was so great that they kept giving meat pies to the world. No one could be that great. The ancestral god sect had many resources. They couldn't be bothered with the weaker inheritances, but the stronger ones who reached a certain level had to repay the sect. Relax. The Fate-song Race Supremacy said with a smile. The Ancestor God Sect is known as the most liberal faction. They do not contend for hegemony in the universe, nor do they need to fight for territory in the universe. They only have the Ancestor God's secret realm as their core. The various dangers in the Ancestor God's secret realm are enough to make other factions shrink back. Even if you become an outer member of the Ancestral God Sect, you won't feel restricted. The Fate-song Race Knight shook his head and smiled. Of course, you have to qualify to become an outer member first. It's very difficult to become an outer member, accepting the complete envoy inheritance, the complete general inheritance, and the complete beast god inheritance up to the 5th level. No matter which one it is, it's extremely difficult. Luo Feng nodded. Just looking at Demon Note's inheritance ground, there were over 100,000 beings who tried, and none of them received the complete inheritance. One could imagine how difficult it was. However, in the land of inheritance of the demonic Note Divine General, 32 lives could receive the inheritance every 10,081 eras. So the 100,000 lives were actually only about 50 million eras. Compared to the long history of the universe, 50 million eras was actually very short. The leader of Circe Island is the guardian beast god. The Fate-song Race Knight looked at the majestic palace ahead. Guardian beast god? Luo Feng and True Yin looked over. There were many carvings on the palace. There were carvings of gigantic horned lizards, roaring gorillas, flying beasts. Even though there were tens of thousands of carvings, there were only 8 types. Luo Feng now completely understood that these 8 carvings were probably the images of the 8 beast gods. There was a huge platform square in front of the Island Master's palace. It was a cross-section of a mountain peak that had been cut off. There were 3 fountains on the sturdy and perfectly carved plaza. Spring water appeared out of thin air and gushed out endlessly. However, the ground of the plaza was not wet at all. The scene was indeed magnificent. The Fade Song Knight, Luo Feng, and Tru Yin walked to the front of the fountain and looked at the entrance of the palace. "You can go in. My mission is over." The venerable of the Fade Song clan said, "I hope you two can live a little longer on Circus Island. Don't die. Unless you get another legacy token, you won't be able to come back. I don't think many races will give you inheritance tokens twice." "Thank you, sir." Luo Feng and Tru Yin thanked the Fade Song Knight for his guidance along the way. The Fade Song Venerable One smiled and transformed into a stream of light as he tore through the air and flew into the colorful aurora deep in the sky. "Disciple, let's go in." Tru Yin smiled. "Okay." Luo Feng and his teacher walked side by side to the entrance of the palace and entered. The palace was very vast. Luo Feng and his teacher walked for a long time before walking out of the palace. This was a front palace. Behind the front palace was a spacious courtyard. Behind the courtyard was the vast and majestic main palace. 2 inheritors. A man sitting cross-legged in the middle of the courtyard spoke up. Luo Feng and Tru Yin looked. "A human?" Luo Feng was shocked. This human was dressed in a simple black robe. He had long blue hair and blue engravings on his face. His energy was faint, but the weak energy he emitted made Luo Feng shocked. Just from the strength of his energy, he was at least a universe knight. "Don't tell me he's the guardian beast god?" Luo Feng and Tru Yin exchanged glances. The guardian beast god was a human? The black-robed man who sat cross-legged stood up and smiled at the two. "I didn't expect to be able to see a human. It really makes me happy. You don't have a guess? I'm not the guardian beast god. I'm just a servant under the island leader. I'm in charge of guarding this palace and sending messages to the island leader." "Servant?" Luo Feng and Tru Yin were shocked. "Soul slave? A universe knight, level soul slave? And a human? Right. When I can accept other races as my slaves, those other races can naturally accept humans as slaves too. The guardian beast god is a universe lord level being. Accepting a human knight as a slave isn't strange at all." Luo Feng felt a sense of sadness and dissatisfaction, but he could only comfort himself. Tru Yin looked at the black-robed man and bowed. "We are the new inheritors, here to greet the guardian beast god. Wait here. I've already sent the message to the guardian beast god. He's busy right now. Wait here for now." The black-robed man smiled. Luo Feng and Tru Yin exchanged glances. "Wait. What kind of status did the guardian beast god have? They could only wait." After waiting for half a day, Luo Feng and Tru Yin were getting anxious. Luo Feng asked, "I wonder when the guardian beast god will arrive." "There's no rush." The black-robed man smiled. "The guardian beast god's matter is extremely important. There's no rush for you two. According to the rules of the ancestral god sect, the ancestor beast god will at most appear in 10 years. If the guardian beast god feels that he won't make it in 10 years, he'll ask another guardian beast god to take care of it." Luo Feng and Tru Yin exchanged glances. 10 years? If it's quick, he'll appear immediately. If it's late, it'll be 10 years. The guardian beast god that I've received has waited for over 9 years. There's only 3 days left before the guardian beast god appears. The black-robed man said, "The two of you should just sit quietly. Endure." Luo Feng and Tru Yin could only sit cross-legged and wait. No one knew when the guardian beast god would arrive. 12 days later, Luo Feng and Tru Yin were in the central courtyard of the palace, sitting cross-legged with their eyes closed. Suddenly, an incredibly tyrannical energy that made one's heart tremble enveloped the entire palace. Luo Feng and Tru Yin immediately opened their eyes. "The guardian beast god is here." Luo Feng and Tru Yin immediately stood up. As for the black-robed man, he had already entered the main palace. "Come in." A slightly high-pitched voice that could penetrate one's soul rang out from the main hall. Luo Feng and Tru Yin obediently entered the main palace. The moment they entered, Luo Feng and True Yin saw a silhouette sitting on the throne high above. It was a peculiar life form that resembled a flood dragon. However, it had wings. It raised its head and gazed downwards. Its body was covered in a peculiar armor that had flames on it. As it sat on the throne, it made Luo Feng and True Yin feel as though they had entered an endless world of flames. The surrounding space and time was filled with flames, and that peculiar life form was the controller of this space and time. As long as it willed it, with a thought, it could kill the two of them. The guardian beast god. Luo Feng thought to himself, it should be a beast god that has mastered fire and space and become the lord of the universe. From now on, you two are the inheritors of Circe Island. A slightly high-pitched voice resounded from the dragon's head. First of all, I grant you the right to enter the glory world. As soon as the voice fell, two objects that looked like optical computers appeared out of thin air and flew directly to Luo Feng and True Yin. These are the reception sensors for the virtual world. The glory world is an important virtual world of our ancestor god sect. It's similar to your human virtual universe. Although it's much smaller, the glory world has the same function for you. You'll know when you log in. Luo Feng and True Yin took the two receivers. I also grant you the right to enter the land of inheritance, the land of treasure, and the land of secret. The guardian beast god said, do you see the 3 water curtains outside the palace? Luo Feng and True Yin nodded. Water curtains? Isn't that the fountain? That's a teleportation channel. Of course, I have to grant you the right, otherwise it'll be difficult for you to enter. The guardian beast god said, the water curtain on the left is the channel to the land of inheritance. The water curtain in the middle leads to the land of treasure, and the water curtain on the right leads to the land of secret. The 3 water curtains lead to 3 different locations. The land of inheritance is the place where you accept the beast god's inheritance and test your understanding of the laws. The land of treasure is the place where the beast gods, guardian beast gods, and the super strong beast god cultivators of the ancestor god sect hide their treasures. There are a lot of treasures there. Many strong people left many obstacles, restrictions, and requirements. Only those who meet the requirements of the strong people can take out the treasures. Some time ago, there was a little guy among you humans who found a treasure in the treasure trove. If you want to explore the ancestor god's secret realm, you can follow that passage and enter the depths of the ancestor god's secret realm. The ancestor god's secret realm is the most mysterious secret realm in the universe. Most special life forms live here, and there are many mysterious treasures in the universe. Whether it's natural materials or some treasures nurtured by the universe, they're all hidden in it. However, the ancestor god's secret realm is also the most dangerous secret realm. Although it can directly transport you to the center, and you don't have to explore the outer perimeter, the more valuable the treasures are, the more dangerous it is. Even the universe lords can fall, and even the universe lords can be trapped. So if you decide to explore the secret realm, you have to be prepared to die. The land of inheritance, the land of treasure, the land of secret realm, and the world of glory. These are the 4 places you need to be familiar with on Circe Island. Go build your residences first, then go to the land of inheritance. The guardian beast god looked down from his throne. Go. Yes, Island Lord. Luo Feng and True Yin bowed respectfully and left. P.S. Chapter 1 is here. Seeking recommendation votes on Monday. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Yin. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 968. There were over 100 million inheritors on Circe Island. Luo Feng and True Yin began to build a residence according to the directions given by the Fate Song Venerable. Condense. Luo Feng used his world energy to swiftly condense a mansion in his internal world. The architectural style was similar to the ancient Chinese Jiangnan gardens of his home planet Earth. It was a majestic 4-sided huge courtyard. Within the courtyard, there was a cobblestone path. Beside it were all sorts of flowers, and there was a pool of water. The pond was the essence of the Jiangnan gardens. There was a stone bridge over the pond, and around it were pavilions, terraces, and waterside pavilions with white walls and black tiles. There were also many independent study rooms, guest rooms, and other pavilions. In front of some pavilions, there was a pond, and in the middle of the pond was a rockery. Although the whole garden was only about 1 kilometer, it was very charming. It completely embodied the essence of the Jiangnan Gardens in Luo Feng's hometown. During the Grand Nirvana period on Earth, many gardens were destroyed. However, in the era of base cities, some rich people built garden villas, and Huaxia also renovated several ancient gardens. Luo Feng had learned about this in history class when he was in school. How good was his memory? He had directly copied the layout of some of the gardens that he knew from the history books and some of the garden layouts that he had copied over. He had just enlarged it. Luo Feng condensed the world energy and quickly condensed such a mansion. In order to strengthen it, he consumed a lot of world energy. Out! Luo Feng pointed at the mountain in front of him. Boom! A huge, square-shaped private garden sat directly on the ground. In the distance, there was a continuous mountain range surrounded by rivers. The garden and the surrounding scenery were almost integrated into one. Disciple this. True Yin was still painstakingly preparing to build a huge palace. However, upon seeing Luo Feng's residence, he blinked. With a sweep of his god energy, he naturally saw everything clearly. It's really, Teacher, you can't understand the culture of my hometown with divine power. Come in and have a look. Luo Feng smiled and immediately led True Yin in. True Yin had traveled the universe and had seen a lot. Just by looking at the countless buildings on Circe Island, he knew they all had their own style, and many of them were no less exquisite than Luo Feng's. However, True Yin had never seen this type before. Walking on a stone bridge, True Yin said in surprise, "This is strange. It is less than 1 kilometer in length and width, but your residence gives me the feeling of a luxurious palace that is dozens of kilometers long. Furthermore, it is clearly just the scenery around this pool, but from different angles, it feels completely different. Changing the scenery with every step is one of the wonders of this building. Through visual guidance, the same scenery has different kinds of beauty." Luo Feng smiled. Come. Give me one too." True Yin urged. How could this disciple dare to disobey teacher's instructions? Luo Feng immediately condensed another mansion. However, the style of the mansion he gave to his teacher was slightly different. If his own mansion was closer to the elegant style of the Ming and Qing dynasties, then his teacher's garden mansion was closer to the Tang style. It was more direct and domineering. After the mansion was built, Luo Feng and True Yin went to the square in front of the palace of the Lord of Circe Island. Let's go. Luo Feng and True Yin stepped into the left fountain simultaneously. His body disappeared as soon as he touched it. Luo Feng felt the scene before him change. Before he could even see his surroundings clearly, he felt a terrifying pressure envelop him. Rumble, the pressure was even stronger than the ice prison. It was even heavier than a neutron star pressing down on his body. Simultaneously, there was also the pressure of his soul. Luo Feng saw his surroundings clearly. It was empty space, and around it was a black mist. In the empty space, there was a meteorite floating. On the meteorite was a warrior dressed in purple armor with a wolf head. This was one of the larger branches of the human race, the Wolfman race. The Wolfman warrior looked at Luo Feng and True Yin and revealed a look of shock. He smiled. You two must be the Blade River Emperor and True Yin. I knew you two would come. Greetings, Jiufeng Knight. True Yin said respectfully. Greetings, Jiufeng Knight. Luo Feng too bowed. However, he was filled with questions. At this time, True Yin's voice resounded in his mind. Disciple, this Jiufeng Knight is one of the 7 overlords of our human race. He's on the same level as the Tianshi palace leader, you know. It's said that he received the complete inheritance of a god general. Luo Feng was shocked within. The complete inheritance? A 7-star overlord comparable to the Tianshi palace leader? This is the ancestral god sect's inheritance grounds. Jiufeng Knight sat crossed-legged on the meteorite, smiling at the two. Naturally, there's a powerful pressure here. It's a pressure on the divine body's soul imprint. If one doesn't have the emperor-level strength, they'll probably die immediately. This is also why the geniuses of the race usually have to become undying before they can receive the inheritance. After all, to be able to receive the inheritance, those absolute geniuses who have reached undying, none of them are weaker than an emperor. Do you see the black mist around? Jiufeng Knight pointed around. Luo Feng and Tru Yin nodded as they looked around. This space was simply too peculiar. God energy and world energy couldn't even be used to scan, and the entire area was shrouded in black mist. Enter the black mist and receive the inheritance. Jiufeng Knight said, "You two split up, don't stay together." "Yes." Luo Feng and Tru Yin replied respectfully, following which the teacher and disciple flew in two different directions. The moment Luo Feng entered the black mist, an unbelievable energy enveloped his entire body. Even though Luo Feng's willpower surpassed most of the knights in the universe, he was still unable to resist this mysterious energy. Without any resistance, Luo Feng stood dumbfounded in mid-air, simultaneously extending his right hand's finger. Qi, a thread of world energy emitted from Luo Feng's finger, swiftly forming origin law engravings. Engravings began to appear. The entire space and gold law fusion started from the basics. Luo Feng actually began to uncontrollably demonstrate it, from the basics to the point where he understood everything. As he progressed, more and more engravings appeared. The surrounding origin law engravings began to revolve, forming a beautiful origin law world. After a while, Luo Feng stopped. That mysterious energy immediately left Luo Feng's body. Only then did Luo Feng regain consciousness. What? Luo Feng's back and forehead immediately broke out in a cold sweat. This was from shock. He actually clearly remembered the scene just now. He remembered being controlled by the formless energy and using all his strength to demonstrate the mysteries of the laws. Too unbelievable. My willpower is that strong, and I even have the pearl in my soul. Even a universe lord would find it hard to directly control my soul. However, that mysterious energy actually controlled me. This is simply... Luo Feng felt the terror of the ancestral god sect. Yes, this is the inheritance grounds. Not just me, even the universe knights, even the Tianshi Palace leader and the other beings like Hiroto, as long as they haven't received the complete inheritance, they would be able to come here. This mysterious energy actually controlled me. I'm afraid it'll treat everyone equally, controlling all the inheritors that come here, which means it can control Hiroto too. I feel that this mysterious energy isn't tyrannical at all, yet it makes me lose all thoughts of resisting. What energy is this? Luo Feng was still pondering. That mysterious energy descended once more. Third level. A majestic voice resounded within Luo Feng's mind. It didn't speak any words, but Luo Feng immediately understood what the third level meant, and that mysterious voice continued to resound within Luo Feng's mind. This voice once again caused Luo Feng to sink even deeper, sinking into a peculiar illusion. In that illusion, the deeper wonders of the beast god path were revealed to Luo Feng in the most detailed manner. It tore apart the space and gold fusion laws, explaining them inch by inch. It was too detailed. It was almost like an absolute warrior was pouring the mysteries into his mind. This was much better than looking at the 52 Primal Chaos tablets and the beast god statue. After an unknown period of time, the energy dissipated. The surrounding black mist fiercely repelled Luo Feng, causing him to tumble and fly backwards. Too unbelievable. Luo Feng blinked, his eyes burning with passion. If only I could do it a few more times. I've been training in the ice prison for over 2,000 years, and I've only studied a little of the third part of the 7 divine transformations. This third part is obviously much harder. I didn't expect that after such a short period of time, I've actually comprehended much more than what I've comprehended in the past 2,000 years. I feel that if I do it again, I'll be done with the third part. Before, the wonders of the third part must have been completely explained to me. However, I've only remembered half of it. I can't remember the rest clearly. Luo Feng was anxious. It's been a long time since he had such a feeling, just like when he was young on Earth, waking up from a dream and clearly dreaming of a certain story, yet he could only remember a small part of it. Ever since he became a warrior, Luo Feng had never had such a feeling. However, at this time, he had such a feeling again. Before, when he received the inheritance, everything was hazy and blurry. He could only remember a small part of the third part. The rest was completely unknown. However, he was certain he had experienced that scene. Don't just stand there, Jiufeng Knight said from the meteorite. Luo Feng and Tru Yin stood there dumbfounded in space. Only then did they wake up, their eyes filled with glee and glee. The inheritance grounds are naturally formed by the universe. It's extremely mysterious and also an important place for the ancestral god sect. Jiufeng Knight said, every inheritance, they'll first observe your origin, law, comprehension progress. The beast god inheritance has a total of 7 parts. If you've comprehended the first 2 parts, but haven't comprehended the third part, then the inheritance in the inheritance grounds will be the third part. If you've comprehended the third part, then the inheritance you receive will be the fourth part. How are the two of you? Jiufeng Knight looked at Luo Feng and Tru Yin. What level are you at? The third part. Luo Feng said, I've learned a lot. The fourth part, I've comprehended the first 3 parts long ago. Tru Yin's eyes were filled with excitement. I feel. I'm about to break through. P.S. The second part has ended. Tomato will continue writing the third. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 969. Breakthrough. Paragon Jiefeng looked at Tru Yin in shock. Teacher, you wanted... Luo Feng couldn't help but be filled with glee. His teacher had been stuck at the final step for countless years, and coming here to receive the inheritance was a chance. But no one could guarantee success. He didn't expect that his teacher would achieve a breakthrough right after receiving the inheritance. Tru Yin was extremely excited. He had waited for far too long. When he first stepped onto the path of an expert, he still had his loved ones by his side. But as time passed, his loved ones grew old one by one, and his hometown became stronger because of him. Especially after such a long period of time, the foundation of his hometown had already formed, so there was no need for him to worry about it. It seemed that there was nothing truly troubling him as long as he, Tru Yin, was alive. His only pursuit was the path of the strong, but he had never been able to advance. Back then, some of the super geniuses of the outsiders had already become universe supremacies. Tru Yin could only choose to live in primal chaos city. Teaching the younger generation was probably the only thing he could do. Accepting the beast god's inheritance was his best chance. However, just because there was a chance didn't mean that it would succeed. I just feel that I'm about to break through. I have a lot of inspiration. Tru Yin laughed. As for when I'll take the final step, it's hard to say. It's good that you feel it. Venerable Dovewind smiled. What I'm afraid of is not feeling anything at all, feeling helpless. Since you have so many inspirations, go back and carefully comprehend them. In particular, carefully study the beast god Tao. Some of the memories you received before seem to have forgotten, and some of them will appear again. Luo Feng was shocked. He couldn't recall it no matter how hard he tried. How could he possibly remember it? This is a small trick. During the inheritance, for example, Saber River King, when you receive the third layer of inheritance, you have actually seen all the profound mysteries of the third layer once. It's just that your previous cultivation foundation is so strong, so there's a limit to what you can remember and understand. That's why you can't remember more. But once you go back and carefully comprehend it, you will be able to recall a little more. The most important thing was that he had to hurry up. Immediately study the path of the beast god. Venerable Jiefeng reminded. Thank you, Jiufeng Knight. Luo Feng and Tru Yin said gratefully. Also, Isn't the effects of the inheritance very good? Jiufeng Knight looked at Luo Feng. I can tell just from your expressions, however, don't get too excited. It seems like this inheritance is better than cultivating and comprehending for a long period of time. Actually, this is just an illusion. Illusion? Luo Feng and Tru Yin were shocked. All of you have worked so hard to cultivate and comprehend. Perhaps some of you have comprehended something, but some of you do not. However, it is precisely because you have carefully comprehended for a long time that there are many things that you do not understand, that when you receive the inheritance, you will instantly see the light, and you will directly comprehend some of the profound mysteries that you have pondered for a long time. That's why you'll feel like you've comprehended a lot. If you think that you don't need to cultivate and only rely on inheritances, then you are gravely mistaken. Without the repeated reflections, failures, and doubts from before, even if I accepted the inheritance, I wouldn't have gained anything. You will completely forget about it, Jiufeng solemnly said. Luo Feng and Tru Yin immediately understood. This was similar to the Primal Chaos tablet. When one had many doubts while cultivating, the effect of looking at it was extremely good. And this beast, God inheritance, only increased the effect of the Primal Chaos tablet by 1,000,000 times. However, it still required the cultivator to cultivate and comprehend it. When can we receive the inheritance again? Luo Feng asked. The beast god's inheritance is divided into 7 layers. You will have a chance to comprehend each layer for free. Venerable Jiefeng said, if you comprehend the 2nd layer, then you can receive the 3rd layer for free. When you've completely mastered the 3rd stage, you'll be able to receive the 4th stage for free. If you continue like this, the logic is very simple. There is only one free chance for each level. In other words, Blade River King, you can't accept the 3rd inheritance for free. Venerable Jiufeng said. Luo Feng asked, if it's not free, then you have to pay a price? Even if he had to use a treasure to exchange for a chance to inherit the legacy, it would be worth it. What's the price? Treasure? Tru Yin also asked. Does the ancestor, God, Sek care about your little bit of wealth? Supremacy Jiufeng shook his head. On top of the free inheritance, you want to receive an additional inheritance. I can only go to the world of glory. World of glory. Luo Feng and Tru Yin memorized it. Once you enter, you'll know. Venerable Jiefeng said, I can only advise you to be extremely careful. Venerable Jiefeng looked at Luo Feng and Tru Yin in space. Finally, I'll tell you 2 basic things. 1. Killing is forbidden within the range of the lake. You can spar, but if you try to kill someone, you'll be attacked by the lake. Of course, once you leave the lake, no one will care about you. 2. Every inheritor on Circe Island has their own palace. Your palace is your own territory. Other warriors are forbidden from entering. Similarly, you are forbidden from entering the residences of other warriors, unless the master leads you or agrees. Remember these 2 points. Go. Venerable Jiefeng said, the entrance to the space tunnel is behind you. Luo Feng and Tru Yin bowed respectfully. Turning back to look, there was a region in space rippling with translucent ripples. The 2 immediately flew in. Shua! They were teleported away. The only thing left in space was Venerable Jiefeng sitting on a meteorite. Looking at Luo Feng and Tru Yin's laughter, he muttered to himself, Blade River Emperor? He's the Blade River Emperor that's actually a Sector Lord? He's not normal, just a Sector Lord, and he's reached the 3rd level. Circe Island. Walking out of the water fountain, Luo Feng and Tru Yin became 2 beams of light and flew towards their residences. Disciple, I'm filled with inspiration and many ideas. I feel that I have a high chance of breaking through. If I can really break through this time. Tru Yin looked at Luo Feng. It'll be your credit. Without teachers' trillions of years of training, what's the point of having the Beast God Inheritance token? Luo Feng said. Haha, makes sense. However, taking you as my disciple is a good deal, huh? Tru Yin said happily. I still need to carefully study and try to break through. This time, I estimate it'll take at least 1.5 years to 10,000 years to become a Universe Knight. If I don't succeed in 10,000 years, then I'm afraid I won't be able to succeed in a short period of time. Teacher will definitely succeed, Luo Feng said. Good. With these words of yours, I'll be getting some of your luck. I'll definitely succeed. True Yin was filled with fighting spirit. During my study, I'll probably not show myself. Unless it's an emergency, you don't have to look for me. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. At such a crucial time, why would he disturb his teacher? I hope the next time we meet, I'll already be a universe knight. True Yin said. I'm looking forward to that day too. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, watching as True Yin flew into the distant residence. Hua! The door closed. Obviously, True Yin was about to begin his closed-door training. Luo Feng stood by the riverside, looking at his teacher's residence. He couldn't help but smile. Within he was filled with joy. Teacher has been waiting for trillions of years for this moment. The path of the strong. After stopping for so long, Teacher will once again take a step forward and reach an even higher peak. I have to work hard too. The inheritance is mysterious. However, normal training and study is the foundation. Luo Feng entered his residence and sat crossed-legged on the stone path beside the pool. Facing the fake mountain, he began to meditate. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, close to half a year had passed. Sitting crossed-legged on the stone path beside the pool, Luo Feng opened his eyes. Jiu Feng Knight's words were true. My improvement in this half a year is indeed not small, even though it's not as exaggerated as when I received the inheritance. However, it still far exceeds my comprehension in the ice prison. Right now, my study speed has returned to normal. Then there's no rush. Luo Feng got up and walked out of the residence. Luo Feng walked to the side of the river and looked around. His teacher's residence was still closed. In the distance, he could see silhouettes. Where to? Glory World, Inheritance Land, Treasure Trove Land, Secret Area. Luo Feng muttered, I don't dare go to the secret area for now. Without any information, going there stupidly would be suicide. Even if I go there, I won't be able to receive the inheritance. There's no rush in Glory World. I'll first go to the Treasure Trove Land. Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. The Treasure Trove Land, according to what the guardian beast god said, it was a place where many beast gods, guardian beast gods, and absolute warriors left their treasures. There was a sea of treasures. That guardian beast god said, there was a human punk that acquired a treasure trove a while ago. Luo Feng's mind couldn't help but recall the scene of the 7 sword emperors using the golden pool back then. Don't tell me it's him. Whatever, I'll go take a look first. Luo Feng became a beam of light and flew towards the plaza of the island leader's palace. When he landed, he discovered a silhouette standing in the plaza. He was close to 3 m tall, dressed in a dark green tree bark-like armor. His exposed skin had a silver metallic glow to it. He was bald, and his eyes were like 2 diamonds. Automaton. Luo Feng landed. Human. The automaton warrior stared at Luo Feng, examining him, almost like a machine scanning. Following which, the automaton expert grinned. My database has the information of 91,293 human-titled Emperor experts, and the human-titled Emperor Undying experts are all recorded. Logically speaking, to be able to obtain the Beast God Legacy token and enter, you should be a rather famous titled Emperor expert of the human race. But the strange thing is, I didn't find any information on you. However, according to the information of the battle between the Blade River King and the Black Razor King in the extraterritorial battlefield thousands of years ago, once the Blade River King made a move, the phantom of the Beast God would appear. That Blade River King obviously cultivated the Beast God Tao. And in the recent 10,000 eras, the number of humans training in the Beast God path can be counted on one hand. With that Blade River Emperor's talent, the human race would definitely give him the Beast God Inheritance token, combining all the information. If I'm not wrong, you're the Blade River Emperor. TSK. The treasure is really mysterious. Even I can't tell that you're actually a sector lord. The automaton warrior looked at Luo Feng and said, P.S. 3 chapters completed. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Yen. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 970. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows as he looked at the automaton warrior before him. He didn't expect these other races to be able to guess so accurately. However, it wasn't hard to guess. Like the Bug Clan, Demon Clan, and Automaton Clan, they often interacted with the humans. They had very detailed information on the humans, and those who could enter the inheritance grounds were all top-notch figures of their own races. One had to know that even Truian Emperor had a hard time getting one from his race. From this, it could be seen what sort of background these people had. Even though you didn't speak, I'm sure you're the Blade River Emperor. The automaton warrior stared at Luo Feng. He wanted so badly to kill this human before him. The Blade River Emperor's bounty was shocking. You can only guess my identity, but I know. You're Jew Absolute Emperor. Luo Feng laughed as he looked at him. As for my identity, don't you like guessing? Take your time. Immediately, Luo Feng took a step and entered the fountain screen, disappearing. Upon seeing this, the mechanical race's great absolute king was slightly startled. After which, he looked at the empty square and muttered softly, "Interesting, he actually didn't directly admit it." However, it seems that this sector master, the Saber River King with such terrifying combat strength, doesn't have a good temper. Right, he's the pride of the heavens. To be able to enter the inheritance grounds, who wasn't a pride of the heavens? It was just that the Blade River Emperor's name was too famous. It had already spread throughout the trillions of races in the universe. Who didn't know that humanity had a Blade River Emperor? Just a sector lord body. Yet he had battle strength that exceeded the limits of an emperor. This caused the Blade River Emperor's light to overshadow countless geniuses in the universe. Even the invincible emperor-level geniuses, their fame couldn't compare to the Blade River Emperor. Jealousy was natural. The treasure trove? That's where the inheritors gather the most. They usually stay there when they have nothing to do and try their luck. With so many inheritors, they'll definitely guess this Blade River Emperor's identity. Jew Absolute Emperor smiled, stepping into the middle fountain screen and heading towards the treasure trove. Even though Luo Feng didn't admit it, Jew Absolute Emperor was from the automaton race. He was an evolved living AI. His logical deduction abilities were terrifying, and he was extremely confident. The teleportation was complete. Luo Feng appeared at the peak of a mountain. Looking into the distance, he could see many mountain peaks, some steep, some strange. There were tens of thousands of mountain peaks. He couldn't see the end of them. There were even lakes in between the mountain peaks. Some were big and some were small. Some were over 1,000,000 kilometers. The lakes were also very beautiful. Some were as green as giant emeralds, while others were as black as ink. Luo Feng looked up. High up in the sky, there were auroras flying around. It was obvious the treasure was within the range of the 5-color Aurora Lake. Right, the treasure trove. It said that there's a sea of treasures. Such an important place, the ancestral god sect would probably have to carefully place it in a safe place. Otherwise, if some absolute being from the outside descends and takes it away, that would be interesting. Luo Feng thought. Whoosh! Luo Feng immediately flew up, flying above the many mountain peaks, gazing from afar. On the peaks, waist of the mountains, within the valleys, or beside the lakes, above the lakes, and even the lake water, there were many silhouettes. There were flesh and blood life forms, stone life forms, energy life forms, plant life forms. There were countless types of life forms, and there were also many special life forms. Some of the demon and plant life forms with huge bodies had shrunk too. Interesting, it's an exhibition of trillions of races. Luo Feng thought. Even though I've seen many races in the foreign battlefields, compared to this, they pale in comparison. This was the first time Luo Feng had seen so many races and special life forms. Hence he was so happy. After a while, he would get used to it, and naturally it wouldn't be a big deal. Whoosh! Luo Feng rushed down and landed on a mountain peak. Luo Feng found a large rock and sat cross-legged on it. He looked around, surveying the mountains and rivers, feeling rather satisfied. Where's the treasure trove? Human brother. A voice resounded. Luo Feng turned to look. In the distance, a silhouette flew over. He was rather handsome. His body was slightly translucent, and he was dressed in a jade green armor. Luo Feng smiled at the sight. Dark Mist Race brother. The Dark Mist Race was a part of the Great Alliance. My name is Qianyu. The Dark Mist youth smiled as he landed on the mountain peak. My name is Hua, Luo Feng said. Ha! I've never seen you before. Have you just arrived? Dark Mist Qianyu laughed. This is the first time I've been to this treasure trove. Luo Feng surveyed his surroundings and exclaimed, I've never been here before. However, I've heard that this treasure trove has many treasures left behind by the ancestors of the ancestral god sect. However, when I came here, I only felt that the scenery was incomparably beautiful, yet I didn't discover any treasures. Ha! We didn't discover any treasures? Dark Mist Qianyu laughed loudly. Why? Luo Feng looked at him. Did I make a fool of myself? That's because there are treasures everywhere. Qianyu of the Dark Mist Race pointed in every direction. Almost every mountain peak and lake in this area contains treasures. All of them. Luo Feng glanced over and was stunned. Even though the mountains and lakes were huge, but there were over 10,000 mountains and over 1,000 lakes. How many treasures would there be? There are many treasures, and look at the highest 108 mountains. Qianyu of the Dark Fog Race pointed at the extremely tall mountain peaks in the distance. Those 108 mountain peaks were clearly taller than the other peaks. Almost all the inheritors know that the 108 most precious treasures that the Ancestor God sect has stored since the birth of the universe are hidden in those 108 mountain peaks. Of these 108 treasures, 42 have been taken away by some lucky fellows since the birth of the universe. The one that was closest to our era was something that happened 2 million epochs ago. That lucky demon race universe, Supremacy, actually obtained an ultimate treasure. Treasure? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Of course. Dark Mist Qianyu said. This is the treasure trove of the Ancestral God sect. There's a sea of treasures here. Of the top 108 mountains, any one of them is precious enough to reach the threshold of a treasure. Many rare and precious treasures, even treasures that are extremely helpful for training the beast god path, are all stored within. However, it's very hard to obtain them. Luo Feng gazed into the distance. Those 108 mountains were majestic. Nobody broke through the mountains? Luo Feng mocked. Who would dare? Firstly, these mountains are all protected by the energy of the five-colored lake. At least us Emperor-level Undyings can't destroy them. Secondly, those universe venerables who are capable of destruction wouldn't dare to destroy the treasure. That would be blasphemy and disrespect to the Ancestor God sect's past experts. They would be killed by the multicolored Aurora Lake, said Qianyu of the Dark Mist Race. Luo Feng nodded. Then let's not think about the top 108 treasures. Let's go elsewhere and try our luck. Dark Mist Qianyu smiled. The more precious the treasure, the more complicated the conditions to open it. If we know the conditions, we can still work hard. The worst thing is we don't know what conditions the absolute warriors set when they set up the treasure troves. Hence, we can only rely on our luck. Who knows, we might even find a treasure that suits us. The value of the weakest treasure here still surpasses a normal treasure. Luo Feng nodded within. Look at what kind of beings set up the treasure troves. Within the treasure trove, there were many Emperor-level Undyings. However, there were many Universe Knights too. After all, many of the inheritors were Universe Paragons, and many of the outer members of the Ancestral God sect were Universe Paragons too. Hence, in the treasure hoard, the ratio of Emperor rank Undyings to Universe Paragons was close to 1,000. Wherever the Universe Paragons passed, the Emperor rank Undyings naturally avoided them. Rumble. A majestic silhouette broke through the skies and rushed towards a mountain peak. Humans? The majestic silhouette looked at the two silhouettes on the mountain peak. One was a human, and the other was from the Dark Mist clan. Humans are the most annoying. The majestic silhouette's single eye flashed with disgust, after which it ferociously rushed downwards. Originally, Luo Feng and Qian Yu from the Dark Mist clan had noticed it and were about to avoid it. However, the majestic silhouette ferociously increased its speed and almost instantly reached the mountain peak. Rumble, a terrifying god energy, swept through. Luo Feng and Qian Yu felt as though they were slapped away by a huge screen. Chi-Chi, Luo Feng, and Qian Yu both spat out fresh blood. Bastard! Qian Yu from the Dark Mist clan gritted his teeth. Luo Feng's expression, however, sunk. Beside, Qian Yu from the Dark Mist clan grabbed him and communicated, "Don't go up, that's a universe night. This is the area of the 5-colored extreme light lake. Killing is forbidden here. What can he do to us?" Luo Feng's expression was ugly. He had never met such an arrogant and tyrannical person before, and there were rules that forbade killing. "He didn't kill us. This is within reason," Qian Yu from the Dark Mist clan said. "These universe knights have lived here for who knows how many years. They're familiar with the rules. Look, his attacks didn't even damage the surrounding mountains. Even our bodies weren't destroyed. He's just humiliating you. What can you do?" However, just as he communicated, Luo Feng had already rushed up. On the mountain peak, the majestic silhouette's single eye swept across the two that were slapped away. He laughed coldly and was shocked to see the human rushing up. What the hell? An emperor-level undying dares to be arrogant. The majestic silhouette was immediately enraged. Just as he was about to slap Luo Feng away again, he suddenly froze. Because Luo Feng was holding the strongest fire god crystal in his hand. This crystal obviously didn't pose a threat to him. However, the moment his god energy attack caused it to explode, the human would be finished. That was equivalent to him killing the human. He would die too. Night. Luo Feng held the fire god crystal and gently landed. Standing on the mountain peak, he looked at the foreign universe knight. Is bullying us emperor-level undyings very satisfying? P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 971. Beishan the Knight had lived on Redbud Island for a very long time. He often came to the treasure trove. As for the weaker emperors, he was used to being high above them. Actually, in the entire Redbud Island, this was a very common situation. Universe knights and emperors couldn't get along equally. Universe venerables with better tempers would slowly fly to a certain place, and the regis and undying of that place would naturally obediently give way. If they were tyrannical like Beishan the Knight, the emperors could only bear with it. This had already become a common thing. Beishan the Knight looked at the human emperor before him and sneered. "Bully you? Ha ha ha. Human. I don't like you humans, so what if I bully you? A mere emperor dares to be disrespectful to me. So what if I am disrespectful to you?" Luo Feng held the fire god crystal and looked up at the knight. Silence reigned. That dark mist Qian Yu who was spitting out blood, as well as the other warriors on the nearby peaks and mountainsides, all turned to look, all interested. Never seen him before. He's a newbie. Ha, look, another newbie is stupid. That's not strange. They think that with the protection of the ancestral god sect, the universe knights can't do anything to them. Plus, many of the newbies are geniuses from their own races. They won't be at a disadvantage. And that Beishan the Knight hates humans. He was so arrogant and directly suppressed them. It's normal for the newbies to retaliate. However, after suffering once, this newbie will know when to stop. Let's watch the show. Let's see what happens to this newbie. This human is quite smart. He has the strongest fire god origin crystal in his hand. This has made Beishan fearful. Once he makes a move, he might be able to explode the fire god origin crystal and kill that human. Beishan will be buried with him. Among the surrounding foreign races, there were Emperor Undyings and a few Universe Knights. They all watched from afar. On the peak of the mountain, Luo Feng wiped his mouth and looked at the foreign race knight before him. "You have guts." Beishan the Knight looked down at Luo Feng. Even though he was angry, he was also interested, because it's been a long time since he met an Emperor Undying who dared to go against him. He immediately spoke. "Human, do you know? I'm a Universe Knight." "I know." Luo Feng looked at him. "So what? Shouldn't you respect me?" Venerable Bei Shan asked again. Why do the weak respect the strong? Luo Feng asked. Because the weak is worried that the strong will kill them. At the same time, it also shows respect for the strong for being able to reach that level. Obviously, I don't have the slightest bit of respect for you, a venerable of a foreign race. As for fear, why should I be afraid of you within the range of the five-colored Aurora Lake? I'm not afraid of you, and I don't admire you, so why should I respect you? Venerable Bei Shan instantly let out a loud laughter that reverberated throughout the mountain peak, attracting the attention of many experts from afar. Yes, you're not afraid of me at the multicolored Aurora Lake. Bei Shan the Reverend looked at Luo Feng with a mocking gaze. Human, are you going to stay in the five-colored extreme light lake forever and not leave? I've seen you before, and I know your life aura. If I find you outside, you should know what will happen. Aren't you stupid to do this? Luo Feng inspected the Bei Shan Venerable in front of him. Just bear with it. Don't fight with the Universe Knights. If you get bullied, just bear with it. Dark Fog Qian communicated anxiously from afar. In this inheritance ground, the Universe Knights have long gotten used to being high above us. They were never on equal footing with us, and bullying us is a common occurrence. This Bei Shan Venerable has gone overboard this time, but we can only bear with it. Otherwise, it won't be a good thing to have a grudge with a knight. Qian, thanks, Luo Feng thought. Looking at the Bei Shan Venerable before him, Luo Feng wasn't afraid at all. Just a foreign race knight with such a small level of temperament. What was he? One must know that the high and mighty master of Sky Wolf had secretly spread the news of the Blade River King. The number of experts in the universe that wanted to kill him was simply uncountable. It was one thing for those pinnacle clans to put up a public bounty, but it was likely that even the universe lords of the foreign races would make a move in secret. Hence, Luo Feng was forced to hide in this inheritance ground. The few pinnacle races have already begun to make moves to assassinate me, and I still have to bear with a knight from who knows which race you are from. What's more, such a normal level knight. Once I break through to Undying, just my golden horned beast strength alone is 1,000 times that of the human emperor limit, and I can even wear the calamity armor. I'm afraid I won't have to care about these normal level knights. Luo Feng couldn't be bothered with being bullied, since the news of the Blade River Emperor had spread throughout the universe. Since that automaton warrior Ju Absolute Emperor recognized him, his identity wouldn't be able to be hidden for long in this inheritance ground. Since that's the case, why should he bear with it? The storm was coming. Then, it would be even more intense. Compared to the predatory gazes of the pinnacle races, this Bei Shan Venerable before him was nothing more than a drizzle. Yes, I've offended you. Doesn't that mean I have another Universe Knight as my enemy? That's not right. Luo Feng nodded, looking at the Bei Shan Venerable. This Universe Knight, I've already offended you. What do you think I should do? The Bei Shan Venerable was slightly shocked. This human's attitude was simply, haha, interesting. Bei Shan, you've kicked a metal plate this time. A roar suddenly resounded from the distant mountain peak. It was a foreign race knight that was entrenched in the mountain peak. The human newbie is ignoring you. He's not giving you any face. Come, kill him. Raise your reputation. Immediately the distant mountain peak, beside the lake, 3 other universe knights laughed loudly, their voices resounding in the sky. As for the Emperor Undyings, they didn't dare shout so loudly. They all discussed softly. In the surroundings, including the universe supremacies, there were probably thousands of experts paying attention. Dark Mist Qian hid in the distance, clutching her head. My God, this human has gone mad. He had occasionally seen stubborn newcomers in the treasure trove, but usually the newcomers would quickly lower their heads. But this time, he had thought that the stubborn newcomer would also lower his head. But now, it seemed that he was a little too arrogant. As there weren't many Emperor Undyings watching, within this short period of time, no one recognized Luo Feng's identity. They only felt that this human was indeed very arrogant. The Bei Shan Venerable heard the laughter of the other knights in the distance. His expression couldn't help but turn ugly. At their level of training, they valued their reputation even more. The ancestral god sect had many universe supremacies from all over the universe. They were divided into factions and groups. For example, the Universe Supremacies of Humanity Alliance, Great Alliance, formed a group. The Universe Supremacies of Nine Regions Alliance formed a group. The ones who were laughing at him were the other factions. Humph. The Beishan Venerable stared coldly at Luo Feng, a formless pressure enveloping him. Luo Feng, however, treated this pressure like a breeze. You have guts. The Beishan Venerable's voice was cold. He gazed at Luo Feng. I've always hated you humans. Today, it's made me hate you even more. Now, obediently kneel down and apologize to me, and destroy 50% of your body. I'll treat it like nothing happened. Otherwise, Luo Feng looked at the Beishan Venerable before him. You want me to destroy 50% of my body and kneel down to apologize? You're really kind. If I don't do it, you'll find a chance to kill me outside? I'm so afraid. Luo Feng smiled and looked at him, very afraid. When I'm afraid, I'll hold a grudge, and when I hold a grudge, I'll take revenge. If I'm not wrong, you should be from the Hammer God race, right? The killing aura around the Beishan Venerable was getting thicker. The dark mist race's Qianyu, who was hiding far away, had a bitter expression. I'll just bear with it, the Beishan Venerable said solemnly. Human, I admire your guts. Remember, I'm the Beishan Venerable. If you have the ability, just keep hiding in the 5-color extreme light lake. Hide in the human's territory. Oomph, Luo Feng sneered. Luo Feng's disdain wasn't without reason. If this Beishan Venerable knew he was the Blade River Emperor, then even if the Beishan Venerable wanted to kill him, the Beishan Venerable wouldn't dare. Because the small Hammer God race wouldn't be able to withstand the rage of a human, a super genius that was highly regarded by the human race. If he dared to make a move, not only him, the entire Hammer God race would be in trouble. Hence, when one's reputation reaches a certain level, when one's importance reaches a certain level, the only ones who would dare to make a move on Luo Feng would be the foreign races that were comparable to the Great Alliance. At the peak of the mountain, the Beishan Venerable and Luo Feng didn't lower their heads. Luo Feng was too lazy to lower his head. Beishan Venerable, even more so, couldn't lower his head. If they were in a stalemate, the Beishan Venerable wouldn't dare to make a move. Humph. The Beishan Venerable snorted softly, immediately flying away. Beishan. A majestic voice rumbled over. A snow-white silhouette suddenly appeared beside the mountain peak. Luo Feng looked. The newcomer was about 3 m tall. His body was almost like a block of ice. Within his body were many shattered crystals. His appearance was very similar to that of a human. His body, too, was dressed in a simple ice armor. His energy was majestic and strong. It seemed even stronger than the Beishan Venerable. Bug Emperor. The Beishan Venerable's expression sunk. Beishan, the ice-armored tall and sturdy man sneered. I know you hate humans, but this newcomer has just arrived. Is there a need for you to be so overboard? First you suppressed him, then you forced him to ignite his divine body. I want to tell you, it's fine if you bully us emperors, but don't go overboard. Luo Feng was shocked when he heard. He couldn't help but look at the ice-armored tall and sturdy man. Emperor? This ice-armored tall and sturdy man was an emperor? Qianyu, who is he? Luo Feng communicated to the distant Qianyu. Dark Mist Qianyu suddenly heard Luo Feng's message. She too was shocked, after which she replied, That's the Bug Emperor. He's one of the top 3 warriors of our Purple Thorn Island out of the 100 million Emperor inheritors. It's said that he's a unique life form in the universe. His true body's height is said to be over 60,000 kilometers. He's intentionally shrunk right now. Just his body alone at the pinnacle of Emperor level is 5,000 times stronger than ours. He's even stronger than many normal universe knights. And his talents and techniques are even more heaven-defying, plus the ancestral god sects focus on nurturing him. Even giving him 2 treasures, normal universe knights aren't his match. A unique life form in the universe? His true body's height is over 60,000 kilometers? 5,000 times? Luo Feng blinked as he looked at the Bug Emperor. P.S. The 2nd chapter has ended. Tomato will continue writing the 3rd. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Achidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 972. Unique. Luo Feng couldn't believe it. An incredibly rare, unique life form actually appeared in front of him like this. Before this, he only knew of two unique life forms. One was a fallen beast god, a natural universe lord. The other was his teacher, Mountain Passenger, one of the strongest warriors in the universe. Luo Feng subconsciously felt that a unique life form would definitely be extremely powerful. An undying level unique life form, ranked top 3 among the inheritors of Purple Thorn Island. Luo Feng was overjoyed within. Right, Purple Thorn Island gathers all the elites of the universe. Even my teacher True, an emperor rarely enters. How impressive would he be ranked top 3? Luo Feng no longer had any pride in his heart. Compared to this bug emperor, there was nothing to be proud of. Unique life forms, right? All sorts of powerful unique life forms. That guardian beast god said that the most unique life forms in the universe are gathered in the ancestral god secret region. Luo Feng thought, maybe I can find a chance to confirm my third body here. It will be extremely important to me in the future. I don't have to find the strongest, but I have to find the most suitable one for me. While Luo Feng was shocked by Bug Emperor and immediately thought of his third body, Qianyu from the Dark Fog clan couldn't help but praise. Bug Emperor is also an emperor. We are too. However, the difference in strength is like heaven and earth. Just the foundation alone is 5,000 times stronger, even bigger than the Universe Knights and us. In addition to innate secret arts and supreme treasures, it is completely possible to jump levels to kill. It's said that the human race's Blade River King can kill Regis Immortals as a Sector Lord. This chasing insect king can kill ordinary universe paragons as an immortal. No wonder the ancestral god sect treats it as a treasure. Bug Emperor, don't be a busybody. Beishan Knight frowned and said solemnly. Bug Emperor's body suddenly enlarged, becoming the same size as Beishan Knight. He stared at Beishan. Firstly, I'm an emperor undying. Secondly, this newbie is a human. You should know that my best brother is a human too. How is it a busybody for me to interfere? Beishan Knight was about to speak. Bug Emperor continued. The knight's position is higher than the emperor undying. The emperor undying should respect the knight. It's a tradition that when they see a knight from afar, the emperor undying will automatically avoid him. However, if it's someone as arrogant as Beishan, forcing him to such an extent, who can you blame if he resists? This is the area of the 5-colored extreme light lake. Killing is forbidden here. Yet you still force him to burn his own body. Oomph. Beishan Knight snorted coldly and immediately became a beam of light that broke through the skies, not bothering with Luo Feng. After witnessing this scene, the insect monarch shrank his body to 3 meters. Human. Bug Emperor looked at Luo Feng. Bug Emperor. Luo Feng smiled. I wasn't able to help you much. If I had discovered this matter earlier, I would have been able to intervene and stop it earlier. Now that the two of you are fighting, I'm afraid that Venerable Bei Shan will really bear grudge. You better be careful, said Insect King Zhu. Okay. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. Insect King Zhuo was a little surprised. How could he not care, even though he knew he was being targeted? Bug Emperor, that he Bug Emperor was a Lu, Xiao Luo Tian clan Lud Luo Dragon that T. That Luo of. Luo Feng watched as Bug Emperor left. At this time, Qianyu from the Dark Mist clan flew over. Qianyu landed on the mountain peak and let out a sigh of relief, after which he smiled apologetically to Luo Feng. Don't blame me. I really didn't want to mess with that universe knight. However, this time, he went overboard. I was prepared to dodge, and he sent me flying. Seriously, he was trying to show off his power. I don't blame you. Luo Feng smiled. Suddenly, his ears twitched, and he looked into the distance. There was a lot of discussion in the distance, as the clash between Bug Emperor and Beishan Knight had already attracted the attention of the surrounding tens of thousands of warriors. One had to know that the entire treasure trove was extremely huge. To be able to attract the attention of tens of thousands of warriors was already an exaggeration. There really aren't many who look up to me. Luo Feng laughed when he heard. It's normal if you think you're stupid. How many emperors and undyings dare to go against the universe knight? Our normal races, even the pinnacle bloodlines like the space beasts, are only 10 times stronger than the normal bloodlines. Hence, the absolute geniuses of our trillions of races are usually only invincible emperors. It's very hard for them to go against the universe knight. To be able to go against the universe knight at the undying level, or even to suppress one, that's something only special life forms can do. And it has to be a very powerful special life form. Those special life forms that are only 100 times stronger aren't enough. Amongst the inheritors, there are only a few that are powerful. We have to bear with the rest. Qianyu said helplessly. Otherwise, if we get targeted by a universe knight, it'll be very troublesome. Luo Feng listened to the discussion in the distance. He said, I'll go take a look at the other places. Haha, I know you can't stand those discussions here. I'll follow you. Qianyu said, So. Luo Feng and Qianyu immediately became two beams of light and flew into the distance. Tens of thousands of experts were scattered all over the surrounding mountains, mountainsides, lakeside, and lakes, discussing with each other in groups of 2s and 3s. Bug Emperor is really powerful, directly suppressing that Beishan knight, causing him to not dare say anything more. Venerable Beishan is only at the 4th level of inheritance. In terms of divine power, he is far inferior to Insect King Chasing. Insect King Chasing's divine power is 5,000 times stronger than a normal king conferred limit. What makes Venerable Beishan even more helpless is that Insect King Chasing has 2 supreme treasures. Haha, how can he fight? It's no wonder he doesn't dare. Bug Emperor has killed a universe knight before, and has a record of defeating 3 of them. How would Beishan Knight dare to provoke him? That's heavenly. No choice. 5,000 times stronger than a normal emperor. How can he compete? Beishan Knight has lost face this time. First, he met a dumb human newbie. Next, he was suppressed by Bug Emperor. There were also many universe venerables who rejoiced in his misfortune. Unlucky Beishan. Beishan has really lost face this time. Even though he's a bit tyrannical, it's no big deal. He just met a dumb human newbie. Who would have thought that human newbie would be so stubborn and not lower his head? This human newbie is indeed dumb. He couldn't hold it in for a while. Now, he's made a universe knight enemy. If he's weak, he has to hold it in. When Luo Feng and Qianyu flew up from the mountain peak and into the distance, after flying a few tens of thousands of km, they were blocked by 3 silhouettes. Luo Feng looked at the 3 silhouettes before him. They should all be Emperor-level warriors. Human, are you the Blade River Emperor? The leader of the 3 silhouettes looked like an erect beetle. He stared at Luo Feng with his compound eyes, and his voice was hoarse. Luo Feng was stunned. Blade River Emperor? Qianyu too looked curiously and shocked at Luo Feng. Human, there's no need to hide it. According to my information, there's really no other Emperor-level warrior that matches you, other than that mysterious Blade River Emperor. The voice of this beetle-like titled king was hoarse, but it was filled with confidence. At the same time, his eyes flashed with excitement. Saber River King, haha, I've long heard your great name and know of your matters. Haha, to be able to see you makes me happy. That Beishan Knight has angered you. Haha, now that the automaton and demon race have announced your reward, the number of warriors who want to kill you is shocking. However, they all have to be careful. Who doesn't know that the human race's protection of you is very strong? That Beishan Knight still wants to deal with you, huh? Luo Feng frowned. South. He became a beam of light and flew away. Even though Qianyu was curious, she followed. Blade River Emperor, Blade River Emperor. That erect beetle knight shouted loudly, his voice rumbling throughout the land and skies. Blade River Emperor? What Blade River Emperor? Of course it's the human race's most unbelievable absolute genius Blade River Emperor. Where is he? Where is he? It's that human, the one who battled with Beishan Knight earlier. He's the Blade River Emperor. I've been staring at him and thinking, just who is he? Our 9 regions alliance's information is very detailed. To be able to obtain the inheritance token, he should be the most outstanding genius of the human race. Logically, it should be easy to find information about him. However, I just couldn't find anything. I understand now. It's definitely the Blade River Emperor. Everyone said he used the Beast God path to battle with the Black Razor Emperor. It's definitely him. That human newbie is the Blade River Emperor. The warriors from the various peaks who were originally laughing and joking around immediately exploded. He's the Blade River Emperor. Unless the human race suddenly produces another absolute genius. The chances of 2 geniuses appearing at the same time is too low. The chances of him being the Blade River Emperor is over 99.1%. Jew Absolute Emperor said to his friends. His friends couldn't help but exclaim. It's actually the Blade River Emperor. A sector lord came to this inheritance ground. So powerful, he didn't even lower his head against a universe knight. That arrogance. Such an absolute being. How can he not be arrogant? To be able to kill an emperor at the limit of a sector lord, that's unbelievable. And he's just a human. Humans aren't special life forms. For such a genius to appear in the human race, the absolute beings of the human race have long treated him as a treasure. The demon race, automaton race, and bug race all want to kill him. Haha, no wonder they don't care about the Beishan Knight. Compared to the demon race, automaton race, and bug race, he's nothing. It's unbelievable. It's actually the Blade River Emperor. The Blade River Emperor appeared in the treasure ground and battled with the Beishan Knight. This explosive news spread extremely quickly. These foreign race warriors from various parts of the universe all knew of the Blade River Emperor. Very few who didn't care about the outside world heard their friends and were all shocked with their jaws wide open. To be able to kill an emperor at the limit of a sector lord. Once he becomes an undying emperor, wouldn't he have to kill a universe knight? Did I hear wrongly? Aren't you guys talking about the universe's rare special life forms? And humans? He wasn't a special life form, and yet he was able to do that. This was the reason why the Blade River Emperor was so famous. This was also the reason why the bug race, demon race, and automaton race wanted to kill Luo Feng. P.S. 3 chapters completed. Requesting monthly votes, recommendation votes. If you have votes, support tomato. Asterisk, to be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 973. Luo Feng and Dark Mist Qian, you became beams of light and swiftly flew away. The entire treasure trove was extremely vast. Some of the large lakes in the mountain ranges were over 1,000,000 km in size. From this, one could see just how vast the treasure trove was. How long are we going to fly for? Let's teleport. Dark Mist Qian said. All right, Luo Feng replied. The Masha clansmen formed a metal piece between the Cloud Contact Armor and Cloud Contact Armor, after which the two of them teleported simultaneously. Dark Mist Qian teleported first, and Luo Feng sensed his location before teleporting. Even though normal long-distance teleportation, it was very hard to sense the exact location. However, Luo Feng and Qian didn't teleport too far. In the depths of a desolate mountain range, Luo Feng and Qian of the Dark Mist clan appeared simultaneously. Qian looked below and pointed at the distant call. Look out to the call in that canyon. I think there are a lot of people looking for you right now. In this desolate place, it'll be more peaceful for now. Huh. Luo Feng smiled and nodded before diving down with Qian of the Dark Mist clan, flying deep into the valley. There was a mountain stream within the valley. The water was flowing. Luo Feng and Qian landed beside the stream. Hua, are you really the Blade River Emperor? Qian looked at Luo Feng and couldn't help but ask. Luo Feng looked at him. You want to know? That's not what I meant. Qian said, I don't have any intentions of investigating you. Only, I'm very curious. The fame of the Blade River King is truly great. Being able to kill a peak stage conferred monarch with the body of a world overlord. This is simply something that only a unique life form like the insect monarch can do. I believe there are many people in the universe who are curious about you. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. Just treat me as the Blade River Emperor. You're not? Qian Yu was stunned. Don't tell me, ah. Qian Yu's eyes gleamed, shocked. Don't tell me you're a fake created by the human race to intentionally mislead the other races who want to kill the Blade River Emperor? Ah, powerful, truly powerful. This move is vicious. This way, no matter how much effort they expended, it would all be a waste. Moreover, they would be able to protect the real Blade River King. Moreover, with your abilities, the clan would definitely be able to reverse time and space to revive you. This Qianyu's imagination is quite good, Luo Feng thought. Dark Mist Qianyu saw that Luo Feng didn't speak and said, "Relax, I won't tell anyone." Sigh. You wouldn't intentionally mislead me, right? Who knows, you might be the true Blade River Emperor. You're deliberately trying to mislead me. You can think however you want. Luo Feng smiled. Call me Hua. You can call me Blade River Emperor. I'll accept it too. You. Qianyu of the Dark Mist race felt helpless. Let's not talk about that. I came here because I'm very curious about the treasures. Luo Feng turned his head and looked towards the colonel. The scenery in the call was quite beautiful. In the distance, the canyon walls were very steep and dangerous. The large amounts of plants on the walls were also very strange. There were strange rocks and creeks everywhere. Luo Feng observed for a while. Where are the treasures? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. I've been here for so long, but I haven't seen any. There are treasures everywhere. Dark Mist Qianyu teased. Of course you won't be able to see them. What do you mean? Luo Feng asked. Newbie, you really don't know anything. You've entered the glory world and met up with our friends from the Great Alliance. We'll chat more, and naturally you'll know more. Let me tell you some general knowledge. Dark Mist Qianyu pointed around. The absolute warriors of the ancestral god sect can all leave treasures and hide them in certain places. After they're hidden, they'll set a condition. As long as a warrior meets the condition, the treasure will automatically open up when they reach the place. Automatically open? Luo Feng was curious. The treasures are dead objects. How would they know if we meet the condition? You don't understand. Dark Mist Qianyu pointed into the sky. The entire area of the five-color lake is under the control of the ancestral god sect. As long as you're in this area, whatever you do, the ancestral god sect's secret control system will know. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Right? He knew everything that happened in the Star Tower. Where the warriors were, what they did, everything was detailed. The five-color lake was probably the same. What level is your beast god inheritance at? Your god energy level? Your soul amplifier and body amplifier. You'll naturally reveal them in the glory world, and the glory world's control system should be connected to the entire five-color lake's control system. Dark Mist Qianyu said, Anyway, this control system will collect all your information. The moment you meet the condition to open a treasure, as long as you arrive at the location, the treasure will automatically open. Hence, there are two main ways to obtain the treasure. 1, you have to meet the condition. 2, you have to arrive at the treasure. Qianyu of the Dark Mist race laughed. So, you have to reveal as much of your special abilities as possible. Show them in the glory world or in your own mansion. Even though the mansion is your territory, the control system will still know everything you're doing. Remember, you have to reveal your strength. Otherwise, the control system won't be able to collect any information. Dark Mist Qianyu said. Luo Feng nodded as he listened. It was the same for him in the Star Tower. He could have a pair of eyes staring at the warriors in the tower at all times, but that was the most he could do. He had no way to search the souls of the other races, no way to find out the secrets within their bodies. He could only gather information from the surface. For example, if your Blade River Emperor is really a Sector Lord, you can temporarily reveal your Sector Lord identity in your mansion or in your territory. Qianyu of the Dark Mist race said, There are very, very few inheritors who have come here who are realm lords. I'm afraid there have been less than 10 since the birth of the universe. Every single realm lord who comes here is a heaven-defying monster with the power of a king. This is what makes you different from the others. Who knows, there might be a treasure that's specially set up to be opened by a Sector Lord. Huh, Luo Feng laughed. He had many thoughts after listening to Qian Yu's description. When I'm in the glory world, I'll gather some information. Newbies know so little. Luo Feng thought. When Luo Feng and Qian Yu of the Dark Mist clan were hiding at the edge of the treasure trove, within a remote valley, the entire treasure trove was bustling with activity. The news of the Blade River Emperor appearing in the treasure trove and Beishan Knight's battle spread like wildfire, especially through the virtual world glory world. Initially, there were only tens of thousands of warriors watching. However, from 1 to 10, from 10 to 100, after a while, tens of millions of inheritors knew about it. There were still a few warriors that didn't know because they had shut off the information and were training hard. So. Silhouettes appeared one after another from the teleportation pathway. Where's Blade River Emperor? Where's the human Blade River Emperor? The warriors that had just arrived at the treasure land all wanted to meet the Blade River Emperor, whose name was known throughout the trillions of races in the universe. He slipped away. This Blade River Emperor and the Dark Mist races, Qian Yu Emperor, slipped away together. Are you sure you didn't make a mistake? The human is really the Blade River Emperor? Right, definitely right. Many of the races have confirmed that he's the Blade River Emperor. The human race only has one race, and there are only so many Emperor-level warriors, and Genius Emperor-level warriors are even rarer. To produce one Blade River Emperor is already incredible. Don't tell me there's another hidden and powerful Emperor-level warrior? Thinking about it, it was obvious that the probability was shockingly low. Coincidentally, the Saber River King also cultivated the beast god Tao. Could it be that these two peerless geniuses both had hidden identities, rose up in the same era, and both cultivated the beast god Tao? Ha! Only an idiot would believe that. That's definitely the Blade River Emperor. Yes, that makes sense. Let's hurry up and meet this Blade River King. It's said that the demon race, machine race, and insect race all offer a shocking bounty, especially the demon race. They even took out a supreme treasure. Although it barely reaches the threshold of a supreme treasure and is useless to those high and mighty masters of the universe, it is enough to make the universe venerables go crazy. Even though the treasure land was vast, there were, after all, too many warriors. Not long after, Luo Feng and Qian Yu Emperor were discovered. Look, that's not Qian Yu Emperor. Right, it's him. That black armored human beside him is definitely the Blade River Emperor. The Blade River Emperor is a sector lord? But why can't I tell? Everyone says the Blade River Emperor has a treasure, hiding his sector lord energy. Three silhouettes fiercely swooped down, rushing straight into the valley. Luo Feng and Dark Mist Qian Yu looked up, seeing the three silhouettes almost instantly before them. I was still discovered. Luo Feng shook his head. He originally wanted to explore this place with countless treasures hidden, but now it seems like he couldn't. Blade River Emperor. Blade River Emperor. The three silhouettes were all about 1.6 tall. Their waists and backs were extremely broad. Their muscles extremely developed, almost like they were carrying shields. They too had 6 thick arms and 6 eyes, all staring curiously at Luo Feng, almost as though they wanted to see just how mysterious this sector lord-level human who could kill an emperor-level warrior was. Are you Blade River King? Suddenly, one of the experts wearing dark green armor asked. Of course he is. He definitely is. The other two replied immediately. Luo Feng laughed at the situation. 3 Tappy race warriors. What business do you have with Blade River Emperor? Don't deny it. It's impossible for 2 peerless geniuses to appear in the human race at the same time. Moreover, both of them are geniuses who have been hiding, and both of them cultivate the path of the beast god, said the expert from the Tappy tribe who was clad in dark purple armor. Blade River Emperor. The dark green armored Tappy race warrior stared at Luo Feng. I've heard of your legends, however, I don't believe it. Your human race's life and genes have always been normal, not even special life forms. No matter how high your origin law comprehension is, no matter how powerful your techniques are, if your body and soul aren't strong enough, you're definitely not a match for an Emperor-level warrior, much less kill one. Legends say you're Sector Lord. I don't believe it. I'm afraid this is a rumor spread by you humans. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 974. The dark green armored tappy, undying 6 eyes observed Luo Feng, after which he sneered. A Sector Lord killing an Emperor-level warrior. Is that something you humans can do? You suspect the Blade River Emperor isn't a Sector Lord? Luo Feng asked. Then why did the demon, bug, and automaton race believe him so easily, even going so far as to publicly place a bounty on him? Do they really believe him so easily, even willing to take out treasures for the bounty? Who knows? It's probably because you humans are too good at deceiving, right? You're the pinnacle races. What can't you do? The leading tappy, undying, looked at Luo Feng. Actually, you don't have to say much. As long as you reveal your Sector Lord energy, then we will truly believe you. We will even apologize to you and express our respect for you. The 3 tappy, undying, looked at Luo Feng, almost as though waiting for him to reveal his Sector Lord energy. Xinyu, I'll return first. Luo Feng turned and said to the dark mist Xinyu beside him. The other warriors will probably find this place soon. Xinyu nodded. Human. 2 of the 3 tappy, undying, immediately shouted. You 3. Luo Feng glanced at the 3, revealing a mocking smile. You guys are really stupid. I didn't deny it, but neither did I admit that I'm the Blade River Emperor. What's more, it's none of my business whether you believe me or not. So, Luo Feng's body flashed, and he immediately vanished. The 3 tappy, undying, wanted to curse. However, Luo Feng had long left. Humph! Dark Mist Xinyu too sneered, glancing at the 3 tappy undyings and vanishing too. This Xinyu Emperor is too arrogant with us. The 3 tappy warriors gritted their teeth. The dark green armored tappy, undying, looked at the other 2 beside him. That Blade River Emperor is really careful. He hasn't denied it or admitted it. He seems to be even more disdainful about revealing his Sector Lord energy. Looks like we've failed to confirm his identity. Report to the higher-ups. The 3 tappy warriors broke through space and left. Within the treasure trove, on the mountain peak with the pathway, Luo Feng had just teleported there, attracting the attention of the distant foreign race warriors in midair. It's a human. Look, it's the Blade River Emperor. Is the Blade River King? Immediately, there were foreign race experts flying over, some shouting, Saber River King, wait. There were also some shouting, human. However, Luo Feng just stepped into the teleportation pathway and vanished, causing many warriors to shake their heads helplessly. After returning to Circus Island, Luo Feng quickly teleported back to his mansion and closed the door. I didn't expect to be suspected so soon. Luo Feng arrived at the 2nd floor of the first building. There was a praying mat on the ground, but it was empty all around, allowing him to look down at the garden, pond, and pavilion. Luo Feng sat cross-legged, gazing below. Being suspected isn't out of my expectations. 2 hidden absolute geniuses from the same generation, and both train in the beast god path. The chances are indeed too low. Even I don't believe it, much less the other races. Luo Feng said softly, after which he flipped his hand and the quantum computer appeared. This was the sensor receiver of the virtual world Glory. Let's see the difference between this Glory world and our human virtual universe. Luo Feng thought. His consciousness passed through the sensor receiver and quickly connected to the virtual world of Glory. Glory world, at the edge of the plaza, a silhouette appeared out of thin air. In his hands was a black book. Luo Feng looked at the black book in his hands, laughing to himself. This is interesting. The virtual universe relies on the virtual assistant to realize many functions. This Glory world, however, relies on this book. Luo Feng flipped open the black book. The first page only had the word name. The rest was empty. The words were in human common language. Please fill in your name in the Glory world. As Luo Feng flipped to the first page, a voice resounded in his mind. Name. Luo Feng hesitated for a moment before replying, Saber River. Since countless warriors thought he was the Saber River King, then he would use this name. Whether it was real or fake, it didn't matter. Luo Feng flipped to the second page. The second page was a map of the Glory World. Simultaneously, a voice resounded in his mind. The Glory World is split into two spaces. One is the Plaza of Glory, the other is the Battle World. As long as one is within the Ancestor God's secret area, they can connect to the Glory World. My God, so small? Luo Feng muttered. There are so few functions. Luo Feng thought. There was no way to compare. Compared to the virtual universe. If the virtual universe was a skyscraper, then the Glory World would be a small hut. The area covered was only the Ancestor God's secret area, and the Glory World only had two places, the Plaza and the Battle World. There weren't even many places to stay or shop, and the human virtual universe was much more flourishing. With countless spaces, the functions were incomparably flourishing. As long as you couldn't think of it, there was nothing the virtual universe didn't have. Glory World Rankings. Glory Points. Glory Points can be used to exchange for inheritances. Luo Feng flipped through it briefly. Understanding a little, if he wanted to obtain additional inheritances, he would have to come to the Glory World. The Glory World Rankings were split into 7 rankings. They corresponded to the first level rankings, the second level rankings, the 7th level rankings. The inheritors of different levels were naturally placed into different rankings. They were ranked according to the number of wins and losses. As for Luo Feng, he was currently at the bottom of the 3rd level rankings. 0 wins and 0 losses. Of course, there were even worse than Luo Feng, like 0 wins and 1 losses, 0 wins and 2 losses, etc. The functions are rather simple. Luo Feng thought, the Ancestor God sect, creating such a simple virtual world, it's just a place for us to gather. Plaza? Luo Feng looked over. This plaza was actually an outdoor bar. All sorts of fine wine and delicacies were displayed in the center, allowing the inheritors to use them however they wanted. The entire plaza was filled with a dense cluster of chairs, scattered everywhere. Luo Feng looked over and saw tens of millions of inheritors. Look, it's the Blade River Emperor. It's the Blade River Emperor. Immediately, the inheritors all noticed Luo Feng. However, no one walked over. Luo Feng looked over and realized these inheritors obviously all had their own groups. There were hundreds or even thousands of them gathered together. Each group was clearly separated. Between different groups, Luo Feng could feel the tension between them. Where there are strong warriors, there will be fights. What's more, countless warriors and geniuses from the entire universe are gathered here. Luo Feng thought. Blade River Emperor. Blade River Emperor. A figure flew over at lightning speed and hurriedly sent a voice transmission to him. Luo Feng looked over. It was actually a human, immediately revealing a smile. Emperor Chemin. Emperor Chemin was a very low-profile emperor within the human race. Even though his strength wasn't considered invincible, comparable to a normal universe knight, he was extremely close. Back then, Emperor Chemin's talent was incomparably dazzling. His rise was swift. He was valued and nurtured by the human race. However, Emperor Chemin was stuck at the last step, unable to break through to Universe Knight. This had lasted for countless years, causing Emperor Chemin to lose his arrogance from back then, becoming much more low-profile. Many absolute geniuses had such a fate. How many could become a universe venerable? Just like the 7-Blade Emperor, who dared say he would definitely become a Universe Knight. Let's go. Our great alliance is over there. These are all from the other alliances. Emperor Chemin brought Luo Feng along and communicated. The race has given me an order. The moment your identity is suspected, they're to call you Blade River Emperor. That shouldn't affect you, right? If you don't call me Blade River Emperor, the other races will suspect. They will suspect you calling me that too. Whether it's real or fake, it's fine. Luo Feng smiled. Emperor Chemin nodded, simultaneously saying, these inheritors are mainly formed according to the various large organizations in the universe. After all the members of the enemy organizations, Naturally, they won't be in the same group. Our Great Alliance is all gathered together. Looks like there are quite a lot of groups. Luo Feng looked over. The plaza was indeed clearly divided. Hundreds to thousands of warriors gathered. In groups, occasionally there would be over 10,000 warriors gathered. These were probably the huge powers of the universe. What's that group? There's so many warriors. Luo Feng looked into the distance. There were at least hundreds of thousands of warriors gathered there. That's the Snow Border Alliance. Emperor Chimin said, even though their strength can't compare to our Great Alliance, the Snow Border Alliance is the alliance with the most races in the universe. They have many undyings, many emperors too, even though they're all weak and normal races, with very few strong races within. They can't make up for the numbers. You should know too, the ancestral god sects inheritance orders are scattered throughout the universe. It doesn't matter if your race is strong or weak. After a while, they arrived at a corner of the plaza. That's where we are. Emperor Chimin smiled. Luo Feng looked ahead. With a glance, there were only about 1,000 warriors. Looking at their appearances and special features, they were indeed the common races of the Great Alliance. Only 1,000? Luo Feng exclaimed within. We are elites. Emperor Chimin laughed. Yes, we are elites. We won't compete with them in numbers. Luo Feng laughed too, following which he and Emperor Chimin headed towards the Great Alliance inheritors. Within the demon territory, in the silent space, flames the size of stars were scattered everywhere, enveloping the entire space. In the center was the majestic Sky Wolf Palace. A huge two-headed snake silhouette lay before Sky Wolf Palace, its voice resounding throughout the space. Sky Wolf Leader, the ancestral god sect's demon inheritors have sent news. In the ancestral god sect treasure trove, they've discovered traces of a human suspected to be the Blade River Emperor. There's a high chance he's the Blade River Emperor. The lord of the Heavenly Wolf tribe was the highest person in charge of the demon race's bounty on the Blade River King. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 975. A celestial wolf figure bathed in flames slowly walked out of the celestial wolf hall. Detailed information. Lord Skywolf looked down at the huge snake that was crawling on the ground. The detailed information is currently being summarized urgently. This subordinate has come to report in advance. In a moment, the information will be sent to the master of the Heavenly Wolf clan. The huge snake's shadow hissed as it crawled in the void in front of the Heavenly Wolf Hall. Go, Grandmaster Skywolf instructed. Yes. The gigantic snake immediately flew out of the space-time controlled by the Heavenly Wolf Hall respectfully before teleporting away. The Heavenly Wolf Lord stood silently in front of the Heavenly Wolf Palace. Moments later, information was transmitted to him through the virtual realm. Although the communication system of the demonic race was far inferior to that of the humans and the machinery race, they were still one of the peak races. Through plundering and many other methods, they had set up the most basic communication system. Existences like the Lord of the Universe could easily receive information from hundreds of millions of light years away, even without the virtual realm. Buzz! A 3D projection appeared in space. The leader of Sky Wolf watched from afar. The 3D projection showed the scene of Luo Feng and Bei Shan the Reverend confronting each other at the treasure ground. It's him. From the look in his eyes, it's him. The Skywolf leader muttered to himself. He had personally seen Luo Feng before. Maybe the absolute beings of the other races would still have their suspicions after receiving the information, but the Skywolf leader was able to discern the truth with just one look. What kind of ability was he? His eyes were like the window to the soul. Just looking at Luo Feng's eyes, the Skywolf leader was able to discern. He actually went to the ancestor god sect. How shrewd. It's just that the human race didn't shelter him within their race. Since he's in the ancestor god sect, he'll definitely be there for a long time. The insect race and the machine race have probably gotten the information as well. Maybe they will make the first move. Killing this Saber River King in the ancestor god sect's territory is not a small price. Let them make the first move. The celestial wolf lord's jade-green eyes flashed with a cold light as he pondered how to deal with this future pillar of humanity. The Skywolf leader had personally seen Luo Feng. He was very sure that the genius human had a 100% chance of entering the undying realm. As for becoming a universe venerable, that was a huge hurdle. No matter who it was, breaking through from undying to supremacy was a huge hurdle. For instance, True Yin had been stuck at the final step for countless years. King Chapman, for example, had been a peerless genius comparable to the Seven Sword Kings back then, but in the end he had been tormented by that step for 1 trillion years and had become low-key. Like the chasing Bug King, he was a unique life form in the universe. He was tyrannical and incomparably strong. In terms of combat power, he could suppress a portion of a universe supremacies at the immortal realm. He was even favored by the ancestral god sect. Of course, the ancestor god sect focused on nurturing it, but unfortunately, it was still stuck at that step. Even a number one force in the ancestral god sect was unable to help it break through. Mountain-sitting guest once said that precious resources were very helpful in breaking through to the paragon level. However, the price was too high, and the success rate was not 100%. The Blade River King was dazzling. But compared to the insect monarch, a unique life form in the universe, it was still somewhat inferior. For a realm lord to kill a peak-conferred king, he must have many secrets. If he becomes a universe lord and reaches a higher level of universe lord, he'll probably have the battle prowess of a universe lord. Who knows? He might become another Sky Sure Palace Lord. He might even be stronger than the Sky Sure Palace Lord. Lord Skywolf thought to himself. He's even more threatening than a universe lord. To the opposing races, a universe supremacy with universe lord strength was indeed more of a threat than a true universe lord. Because if a universe lord died, no one could revive. But if a universe supremacy died, even someone as strong as the Tian Sure Palace Master and the Primal Chaos City Master might not have the ability to reverse space-time and revive, but one of the strongest in the universe, the Creator Axe, could definitely revive. A super existence that wasn't afraid of death and could revive. How big a threat was that? From undying to universe supremacy is a hurdle. If this Blade River King can't break through, and the humans insist on helping him, they will have to pay a huge price. The humans might not be able to bear it, and even if they were willing, they might not be able to guarantee success. The Skywolf Lord viewed the Blade River King with great importance, but he was still far from being a threat. Let's wait and see if the Bug Race and Automaton Race make the first move. Asterisk, 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 the Bug Race and Automaton Race receive the news on the same day. The 4 of the 6 pinnacle races, the humans, automaton, bug, and demon, were all very close to each other. Hence their battles were extremely intense. With a terrifying genius emerging from the enemy race, naturally they would want to destroy him as soon as possible. The demon race and bug race will probably make the first move. There's no rush. The automaton race's thoughts. The humans definitely have a way to protect the Blade River King. We have to plan carefully. The bug race's thoughts. Only these 3 pinnacle races were the most anxious. The other powers in the universe that were on par with the Great Alliance were all watching. As for the weaker powers like the 9 Domains Alliance, they were all happy to watch the 4 pinnacle races fight to the death. Glory World, in the open plaza, Luo Feng and the Great Alliance's inheritors were gathered together, very quickly making friends with many strong warriors. Our Great Alliance has so few inheritors. Luo Feng couldn't help but say, very few. The human Li Shuo King, who was sitting by the side, nodded. However, only a portion of them are gathered at the outdoor plaza, about a quarter of the total number. We humans have very few of them. The main reason is that the ancestral god sect treats the countless races with equal treatment. They distribute them according to the territory, number of undying, etc. Hence, we humans are at a disadvantage. And the Great Alliance mainly absorbs the elites. Other than the vassal races, there are also the stronger races. Luo Feng nodded. Within the Great Alliance, there were indeed a few strong races. They all had universe lords within them. Our great alliance doesn't have many races, hence the number of inheritors is relatively low. Li Shuo Emperor said, "The beast god inheritance is only one of the paths to becoming a strong warrior." Emperor Chimin shook his head. "Within the ancestral god sect, we humans are weaker. That only means our beast god inheritance is weaker." Li Shuo Emperor Chimin were both humans. Back then, they had limitless glory. Now they weren't as sharp as before. The most infuriating thing is it's too hard for us to earn enough glory points. Emperor Chimin shook his head hatefully. "Because we humans have the virtual universe, we are the envy of countless races in the universe. Especially in the glory world. Many of the other races don't even challenge us. We challenge them. They don't accept. Not battling. Naturally, we can't earn glory points. Without enough glory points, we can't exchange for the inheritance." Li Shuo Emperor raised his wine glass. "We can only challenge within the Great Alliance. However, the number of inheritors of the same level are few, plus we know each other's strengths. We know we are weaker. Naturally, we don't accept the challenge." "Challenge?" Luo Feng nodded. He had read the Black Book before. He knew the rules. The glory world was split into the open plaza and the battle world. In the battle world, one could earn glory points, but at the same time, they could lose. Every newbie had 3 glory points. The minimum bet for every battle was 1 glory point. One had to first send out a challenge. For example, if the opponent agreed, only then would the battle begin. After battle, the accumulated glory points would reach 100. Every 100 glory points could be exchanged for 1 inheritance chance. If there are no other races, they won't accept the challenge. To accumulate 100 glory points, how hard is that? Even if there are occasionally challenges, they're all extremely strong. We'd be stupid to accept them. At least with similar strength, we'd only accept them. Emperor Chimin shook his head and sighed. "Difficult. Earning glory points is too difficult." Emperor Li Shuo said. "Beside," Emperor Qinyu laughed, "I'm still all right. Unlike you humans who are isolated due to jealousy, I still have many battles. However, only by winning can I earn glory points. Losing is just a loss. When we first arrive, we only have 3 glory points. The moment we lose them all, then we'll have to wait an era for a new glory point to be born. After that, we can continue the battle. If we lose again, we'll still have to wait an era for a new glory point to be born. If we lose it all 3 times, then the 4th time, we'll need 10,000 eras to get 1 more glory point. If we lose it all 3 times, then the 7th time, we'll need 100 million eras to get 1 more glory point. That's why everyone is very careful. When you're in a battle, you'll only be willing to bet big if you're confident of winning. However, your opponent knows that you're strong, so they won't just nod their heads like idiots. That's why most battle bets are 1 glory point. Only in rare cases will there be slightly larger bets. How hard is it to accumulate 100 glory points? Emperor Qinyu shook his head and sighed. Even though there are many inheritors, besides the free inheritance, to use glory points to exchange for the beast god inheritance is too difficult. Don't be too happy. There are still other races that have challenged you. Emperor Chimin said. There aren't many challenges. Most of them are stronger than me. Emperor Qinyu said helplessly. Luo Feng listened beside, immediately feeling that it was rather difficult to exchange for glory points. At this time, in the distance, the inheritors of the other races were scattered. However, many of them noticed the Blade River Emperor. Glory World's Black Book. There's a new person amongst the 3 inheritors. The Black Book records the time he first entered Glory World. He's called Blade River. There's even a note saying it's human. It's definitely that Blade River Emperor. First time entering Glory World. Right, a new person. The different races all looked over from afar. He's just a realm lord. It's impossible for him to kill a peak stage Regis just by relying on his comprehension of the laws and secret arts. He must have some sort of treasure or some other miraculous encounters. In the Glory World, everyone uses the same divine body strength. Even Insect King Chasing uses the same divine body as us. He doesn't have any innate talents or secret arts, and he has to use the weapons set by the Glory World. Even precious treasures are not allowed. Even that bug emperor in Glory World has been defeated by many strong warriors. This Blade River Emperor, humph, a 3 inheritor. Challenge. Haha, I'll challenge too. To bully the legendary Blade River Emperor, it'll be very interesting. I want to properly trample on this Blade River Emperor. Let's see how much pain this human absolute genius will suffer. From the trillions of races in the universe, countless absolute geniuses and inheritors from different powers very quickly began to challenge Blade River. Luo Feng was currently chatting with Emperor Qinyu, Emperor Chimin, and Emperor Lishua. Wait. Luo Feng felt the floating black book beside him slightly tremble. He immediately flipped it open. HM? Luo Feng stared wide-eyed. In the challenge letter column, the number behind it was 10,232, and it was still rising. 12,000, 13,000, 14,000, 20,000. The numbers were rising very quickly. P.S. Second chapter has arrived. Continue writing the third. Not finished yet. If you like this work, please come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation.